Hey, Kelly.
Yeah, Lindsay?
I was listening to this podcast, and I heard this flamingo that sounded just like you.
Oh, you mean Parsnip the Pantolier?
Yeah, and you were hanging out with a Christmas elf and a shape-shifting, like a sphinx, but a frog.
Oh, that's Acrylis, the frog sphinx.
Yeah, and it sounded like a mix of Always Sunny in Philadelphia plus like one of those Rudolph the Reindeer stop-motion movies.
That's incredibly specific, Lindsay.
I know a lot of things, but I think people should check it out. What's it called again?
Thank you for questing. If you like D&D, tabletop RPGs, improv, comedy, or various themed taverns, check it out. Available anywhere podcasts can be found.
Awesome. Thank you for questing.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Of course. Okay, so should we get to our podcast now?
Yeah, let's do that.
Forever Dog.
Murder Most Foul. This week on the podcast, the Sweet Valley High London Werewolf Trilogy.
Hi, welcome to Teen Creeps, the podcast that discusses YA pulp fiction. I'm one of your hosts, Lindsay Kaitai.
And I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly Nugent. And this week, we are joined by our Sweet Valley High correspondent, the expert in the, what are their last names? Wakefield Twin Saga, podcaster and comedian Ryan Mogge is here.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I'm really excited to talk about werewolves.
Oh, my God.
In London,
It's such a joy to have you back with us.
We're so happy. I've been looking forward to this for years.
Since the day we met in Improv 101.
Yeah.
For me, it was before. I was like, there are two people out there. And I want to talk about these books with them. I don't know their names. I don't know when. I don't know where, but I know it will happen.
Oh, someday. And for those of you who want a more specific, it is the books 104, 105, and 106. Love and Death in London, A Date with a Werewolf, and Beware the Wolfman.
Increasingly inaccurate titles.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one, this is accurate.
Sure.
There's
love and death happening.
All over.
Well, I
Yes.
feel like the first two should be switched,
Yeah.
perhaps. Or, no. It should be A Date with a Werewolf, Beware the Wolfman, and Love and Death in London.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is like, oh, and then this is like, uh-oh, and then this is like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is more accurate to what happens, love and death.
Yeah.
Love is now what's happened for everyone.
yes.
Yeah.
Like they're all in love at that point. The first one is when they both go out with their potential werewolves.
Yes.
And the second one is where like, oh, shit starts getting real for them with the werewolves.
Well, the second one, I think, is when you start to think there might actually be a werewolf.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I was like,
Did you never believe?
well, what I thought was going to happen was,
If it wasn't Sweet Valley.
so because I knew it was Sweet Valley, I was like, okay, there's like someone pretending to be a werewolf, or there's just some violent crime that for some reason everybody in London is like, it's a werewolf. Because the evidence they have to point it to being a werewolf for sure is that the throat is ripped out.
Yep.
As though by a wild beast?
Yes, and there's
Yes.
fur sometimes.
And there's fur sometimes.
And there's this movie, American Werewolf in London.
Yes.
And there's this song, Werewolf of London,
Yeah.
By Warren Zevon.
by Warren Zevon.
Which Jessica knows.
She knows. I guess
Yeah.
maybe in the 90s, I knew that my family.
But would
we
you
played
immediately
it.
go by Warren Zevon?
No, I wouldn't describe the plot of American Werewolf in Paris either if I just
So
saw
many
it.
times.
So many times.
to so many people. To so many people.
I mean, they hang out at a place called the Slaughtered Lamb.
They need to stop.
What I loved about that is by book 3 or maybe 2 or 3, Elizabeth is like, now my beloved pub, the Slaughtered Lamb, because of the slaughtered lambs, it has a different meaning for me now. It's like, it was always called the slaughtered lamb, Liz.
And like the picture on the like
Is
sign
of a murdered
is a murdered
lamb.
lamb.
It's a murdered lamb.
or sheep.
But it's just such a quaint British pub.
I will say the twins are maybe at their most idiotic in these books.
Yeah.
They
Oh my
are
God.
very stupid.
Oh my God.
I think Elizabeth is
more so.
like
the worst.
so dumb, and she's like not a good person in this book.
She's a bad friend. She's a bad sister.
God.
Yeah.
She's on some real Jessica level
Yeah.
bitchery.
Yes.
And also like she keeps being like, I miss Todd. She's like, I would never cheat on Todd. And she's like, I'm not cheating on Todd. But then she's kissing
She's
Luke.
going on literal dates with multiple boys.
Yeah.
And she's hooking up with them.
Yeah.
She is in practice cheating on Todd.
But she's like, I would never cheat on him. And I'm like, and it was, I took a picture because it was the same paragraph where she was like, it was hard for her to stay loyal to Todd. And then like the bottom of the paragraph, it's like, Luke kissed her.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Okay, so then
it
It was impossible.
was impossible.
Yeah.
You didn't
You didn't.
do it.
And she's kind of
I-
a reverse snob. I don't know if you heard
yeah.
that about her.
I think maybe a few times I heard about that, which is true.
She is
Yeah.
a reverse snob.
Yeah.
She is, because she hates Robert, which is the rich guy that Jessica starts dating. I'm sorry. The
mean-
Little Lord.
Oh, sorry, Little Lord Robert Pembroke. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same
Little
page.
Lord Robert Pembroke Jr.
And wouldn't it not, like, with that fancier name, I feel like Junior doesn't work. It should be the second.
The second. Don't you
Yes.
only do that until when there's a third?
I believe so, but it just doesn't look right.
No, it doesn't
Yeah.
look
And
right. There
honestly-
should have been a smaller one.
They
Come on.
don't
Oh, the
care.
third. Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
care.
They don't care.
They don't care. These fucking books, they don't care.
Okay, so maybe weirdly my most, all right, before I get to this, all right, back and forward track just a bit.
Okay.
I have one major, very ridiculous criticism of these books.
Okay.
I will get to that in a bit.
Okay.
gosh,
What I would
the
like to get
anticipation.
through,
Yeah.
get to right away is that does it feel to you two that the second two books were written by a different person?
Yes.
Yes.
And yet that is not the case.
It was Kate William for
Yeah.
all of them.
What the fuck happened?
I don't
So
know.
like in book one, I'm like, okay, Liz is kind of torn. She's like being like very irresponsible by seeing Luke and by not telling him she has a boyfriend and by like kind of flirting with kissing him. And at the end, it's like, oh no, she's kissed him. That's terrible.
Right.
And what's going to come of that? And then, and it's like, oh no, well, ooh, the big step was taken. And, but what does this mean?
Right.
And blah, blah, blah. And then the opening of the book is her new boyfriend's arms felt warm and safe around her as they had the day before when Luke had kissed her seriously for the first time. So he's her boyfriend now?
Yeah.
Also,
Where the
okay, they
fuck
went-
did that come
Also,
from?
I don't know if they were on a weekend in the country.
Also,
That's some boyfriend
okay.
shit.
Fully boyfriend.
But here's the other thing too. In book 3 is when she's like, I would never cheat on Todd. And I was like, he was your boyfriend in book 2.
And she made a date with
And
Renee.
3. I know. Oh god, she
Okay,
is
and the way she
stringing
treats
her
Renee in book
Oh
1
my
is
God.
horrific.
Yeah.
And then she's
she's
mean
like
to him.
surprised.
Yeah,
she's surprised. Like when she stands him up, she's suddenly like, "Why is he being so cool?"
Yeah. Also, okay. So
So it's standoffish.
a thing that happens in
it's like he doesn't want to be friends.
I know. It's like, no, honey, he doesn't. He wants to
like,
date you.
What? It's not like he has a claim to me. I'm with Todd. After she just straight up got kissed by Luke.
I know.
Also, she keeps calling both Luke and and Renee at different points her friend, but then also Luke is her boyfriend. It's this
And also she's deeply in love with him. The final book of or the final page of book 3, I was like, this is unacceptable.
no, I could not. I was like, there better be repercussions.
No, I
for
learned
this.
something from that because what you do is like, okay, so I guess I'll lean in. He's dead now.
He is dead.
He's dead. He's
fully
a
dead.
madman.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
She loved him. Her
He
heart
had a
is in a million
split
pieces.
personality. One of them was a werewolf.
Yes. She takes all the good parts. She takes all the bad parts. She compartmentalizes them, puts them away, decides I'm gonna forget this.
Yeah.
and just goes home to Sweet Valley.
I could not believe it. I was like, because after he died, I was like, okay, when does Todd come up again? When does Todd come up again?
Yeah.
When does Todd
Yep.
come up again? Last page, 3 lines on a last page. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
She's gonna go home.
She's gonna
to
go
Todd.
home to Todd, and that's like all it says.
Yeah.
That's all it says.
It's crazy.
Okay, so since we already kind of gave away that Luke
Sorry.
dies. No. I will share on the show that I texted each of you saying that there was a point where I was like, whoa, what? And I want to see if you guys had a similar feeling to this part. It was when.
I hope it's the same.
So she's like in
Annabelle.
Annabelle's
Which
house.
crazy. Annabelle and Anne could be the same person.
Okay.
Wait, but do you think this is the same
I
Annabelle
was
as
like,
Annabelle S?
Jessica is such a
Jessica,
fucking
what are
idiot.
you doing?
Okay, she's like,
Jessica.
So Jessica's like, I have to find out who Annabelle is. And she's like, Luke, what's your mom's name? And he's like, Anne. And she's like, it's not the same.
It's not the same name. There goes that.
And I was like, you cannot do this to me. It was
What?
many pages. Okay, so they,
it was many pages.
so
Well,
they,
okay, I highlighted that.
All right. Are
In
we all
fact-
going to the passage where we think
Oh, no,
Kelly
it
said,
didn't
whoa, what?
sync.
yeah, go to the part where you
Okay.
think I said, well, what?
Okay, I'm pretty sure I didn't say it at the same point in the book as you, and that mine is a much sillier place to have said it considering everything that happened.
Wait, what?
I think I didn't say it at the same place as you. I said literally the same thing out loud. I
Yeah,
went,
I know. I was walking and I stopped in my tracks and said, whoa, what? Okay, so the part I did it to was they're in dead Annabelle's house.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the werewolf is there
With red eyes.
with red eyes
and fangs.
and fangs, and she's
Glowing.
like, ugh, it's just you, Luke. Take off your mask. And he's like, I can't. It's always on. So I was like, oh, he's a real werewolf.
Right.
And then later, he just takes off a wolf mask.
Yeah. No, he was wearing a wolf mask. He was likely wearing that mask when he attacked Jessica. He was
100% wearing that mask.
by the tube.
So every
and he
time-
was walking around going,
Yeah.
she could hear the panting from like yards away.
Yeah.
He's wearing a fucking.
And then what
wolf mask.
what was he ripping
I
people's
don't
throats
know.
open with?
I
That's a
don't
great question.
know.
That-
What?
Honestly, guys, can I admit something to you?
What?
I don't know that I understand how a person can rip a throat open.
I don't know.
Do you do
The
it
whole
like a
time-
slice a knife and pull?
I think what you maybe do is you sharpen your nails to point.
Okay, I get it.
And you just go hog wild.
I was trying to figure this out, all three books. I was like, all right, there's no way it's a werewolf because it's Sweet Valley.
Right.
I
Right.
would have thought it
Right.
was a werewolf. It was just some random point horror book.
Sure.
I was like, okay, so it's not a werewolf. So what the fuck is up with this, like, ripping throats open as though a
Right,
yeah.
beast had done it?
Uh-huh.
Did somebody get, like, a wolf paw? Just keep using the claws and like run around and then go like at people's throats with the
Yeah.
claws or something,
Well,
because otherwise it makes no sense and they never explained it. Did he do it with his teeth?
I think
The secret
human
died
teeth?
with Luke.
I know. The only
True.
person that
And
knows
Luke
is
didn't
dead.
even know.
And Luke didn't because
Oh
he
my
was
God,
in a
that
few
was such a-
states. No, that's
be real-
fake, dude. Though
I
he
don't
was
believe
for real
he
doing
knew.
it. He knew. He's fake. He was faking that
guys-
whole diary.
I
think.
believe Luke.
You believe Luke?
Believe men.
Oh, so you know what? And also here's another question. He straight up shredded a bed.
Yeah.
With
that's
what?
right.
With what?
And he howled so many times.
I know he howled
Because we got
lot.
some POV of the werewolf. In,
Yes.
I think just the third book, or was it in the second
Only
one too?
third because I was like, oh, so there is a werewolf.
I would love to know where the fur came from when he
Here's
attacked
the thing.
Joy.
His mask has fur and it is wolf fur.
I think it's a real. He used a real wolf head to make that mask.
This is horrible.
Oh my god! He also killed all those sheep.
That
I
means he
know.
killed a
And
wolf.
poo-poo.
Why
Wait,
did
he
they
killed
never
Poo-Poo.
the dog? Why did they have to name that dog?
We forgot about poo-poo.
I blocked it because I hated it so much.
I
Every
hated
time-
poo-poo. I hated just the whole story about
Just
poo-poo.
name it like Pippi or like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pookins or
Yeah.
a million not poop things.
Yeah, poo-poo.
It's not like we didn't use poo to mean shit.
I
Yeah,
know. And
no.
it's capital
Poo-poo.
P-O-O dash capital P-O-O.
Also, are we?
So they never connected that.
Yeah,
They
No.
said
I'm
everything was connected, but that was not.
Yeah, wait, so that was whose dog?
That was the only thing not connected. Like
was-
lady, like the widow Wimple or something.
oh,
Yeah.
right. Wimple.
But
you're
maybe
right.
it was related
Wimple
to
or Win.
Bumpo.
I felt bad for Bumpo. I felt
Bumpo was
really
doing his best.
bad
And
for Bumpo.
Really thought Bumpo was going to be redeemed
I thought he
as
was gonna be the hero.
brilliant, like Columbo type.
Yes.
Oh, we were all taken in by his like disheveled appearance, but no, he's just a fucking fuck up, clumsy,
even at the wedding.
Scotland Yard guy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here's all right. So when did you
how
say
dare the
what?
wedding? How
When
dare
did
the
you say
wedding?
what, Ryan?
Honestly, for me, it was a personal what because it was in the first book. Because
okay.
I read the second 2 books when I was a kid. Like these are my copies from when I was a kid, and so I hadn't read the first one.
Really?
So for me, it was when they realized that Portia was pretending to be a bitch. And
Yeah.
and they
method
all
acting.
forgived her immediately.
Yeah, no, immediately.
You're just so good at acting.
And yeah.
Because I did. That is summarized in the beginning of the Date with a Werewolf, but I just didn't. I didn't really know that I was going to live through it. So that was my. I know it was very early, but that's
No,
when I
but
pulled the
that-
like what? Because that's not human behavior.
No.
You would still hate that girl.
You would just be like, what the fuck? So we were just like your pawns for method acting? Like,
Yeah,
you know
she'd have
what?
to earn it back.
As an actor myself, I do understand method acting.
Okay.
And I would respect that.
there was
But
a,
you really,
She
you
was
would
a
not.
method actor.
No, you would
I
not.
am-
challenge you.
I am a university trained
University?
actress.
Ooh.
I went to university. I have a degree, and I would completely forgive her because as a fellow thespian, I do the same. In fact, do you know how I'm terrible at accents?
yeah.
It's a method. I'm great at accents. I'm so good
We
at
forgive
accents.
you. We forgive you.
Oh my God,
Thank
I was
you,
holding that
thank you,
against you
thank
so hard.
Thank you. All right, so the moment I went
Yes.
aloud to myself, no one else in the room except my
Yeah.
dog, I went, what? What? When suddenly, Frank and Lucy are getting married.
Well, they said I love
That's
you.
when I was like,
Yeah, they said I love you though, so that means they're getting
So you
married.
get married in the next 24
why
hours.
do they need to get married?
on the heels
They
of
can
a
just be
horrible
together.
series of murders.
They get
and
married like days later.
And she's not because like my
She's mean
memory
to
of
him.
him was like of their relationship was like, oh, there's like a bantery reporter couple, and like I shipped them when I was a kid.
No.
Rereading it, she's
There's-
just awful to him.
no banter.
No, it's just picking at him
Yep.
and being mean
Yep.
Yeah.
and flying off the handle.
I
Yeah.
will say that by the time she is editor-in-chief of the, what is it, London
Journal, right?
Journal, I did think it was appropriate that she was shutting him down because that's now a boss-employee relationship.
sure.
It was more appropriate then.
And she does say, like, look, I respect what you did. You're going to have to prove yourself. There's this other reporter that's hungry. Show me you're hungry too. Blah, blah, blah. No nonsense. But the other times when she was like, you're also trying to hide the murder stories I've been writing, I was like, he just came to you
Yeah.
with the stories of how they've been burying the stories.
Yeah. Why would he do
He
that?
came to you with this information. Where is this coming from?
Yeah.
And that's just like Kate William going, well, banter is fighting, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
I think so.
Isn't it cute?
And naming her Lucy Friday.
And then
Get
he
the fuck
at one
out,
point
William.
literally says, "My girl" or "gal." He says like
Yeah.
"our gal Friday," and I was like, "Don't do this.
Don't
Don't do this.
Don't do that.
Don't do this right now."
Don't do that.
Should we do like a
Read
what?
all of the back of the books.
Okay. So is this 104? Okay. Elizabeth and Jessica Wakefield are looking for trouble. Working as summer interns assigned to the Scotland Yard beat for the London Journal, they're bored with all the petty cases they've been given. When a series of grisly murders breaks out, they decide to do some sleuthing on their own. Elizabeth
One
and
case they've looked at.
yeah, and they get 2 cases on their first day.
Yeah.
And
Which is crazy.
they're high school interns.
Yeah.
These are pretty meaty case. Like they
Yeah.
should just be on the blotter.
It is crazy
Why
that
aren't they getting coffee?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
pardon me, tea.
Yeah, T. It is crazy that they think that they will get assigned a murder case.
It's crazy that they think they'll get assigned fucking anything.
Yeah.
My byline on the cover. I'm like, no.
No,
What?
no.
Anyway, sorry.
Elizabeth and Jessica discover that the murder victims look as if they've been attacked by a wild animal. Who or what could have committed such a beastly crime? The detectives are baffled, but the twins, led by Luke, the quiet boy who's quickly finding a place in Elizabeth's heart, have their own suspicions.
quickly.
Will they find the murderer before he or it finds them?
No.
No, they won't.
No, they get found real quick.
They're like found.
I mean, one of
instantly.
them supposedly is dead at the end of the first book.
Oh, I know.
That was some fucking
That's R.L.
Goosebumps
Stein
level.
shit. Yeah.
Except that we had to wait forever. And it was an actual like reveal instead of like, oh, that's just a pile of clothes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really make sense,
It makes,
right? Like,
it sort of does because she's face down.
Wait,
and
but
they
so
switch
why
lanes.
did Luke
switch
kill
rooms?
her?
Like, that's
Because of the full
Because
moon.
of the full moon. I will say that
I'm not buying it.
No,
Stop
no,
looking
no,
at me.
no.
Okay, here I'm not defending this choice.
Okay.
However, I will say that I have a lot of trouble sleeping if there's a lot of light coming into my room.
Okay.
I have blackout curtains in my room and keep the door like just slightly ajar to the point where ever since we got back from Japan, every night since Mike has woken up in complete darkness, doesn't know where he is, and freaks out.
Oh my God.
Poor
The
baby.
pitch black.
Because it is pitch black. You can't see anything in the room because I have a lot of trouble sleeping if there's
Yeah.
light in my face. So
Okay.
I might have
Okay.
asked to switch.
So here's my
I'll keep
question.
that in mind if I ever walk into a room that I think that is your room and there's a dead body that looks like you.
Yeah.
I'll be like, wait,
just
how
think-
light was it last night?
Exactly. Exactly.
What
Are
phase of the
these
moon?
curtains specifically blackout curtains or are they just curtains?
Here's my question. Why did Luke
You only get one
kill
Uh-oh.
Joy?
because he thought
He
she was
thought it was
Jessica.
Jessica.
He wanted to kill Jessica?
Because he's bitter.
He's
I don't know if you
fucking
understand.
crazy.
He's very
He doesn't
bitter.
think that. Yeah, that's sort of. So the reason he kills is because he's bitter. It's because Robert has everything and he has nothing. He doesn't want Robert to have
Oh,
Jessica.
so he's taking away all of Robert's things. I see.
And
Okay.
women are
And
things.
and Jessica was like so into Robert.
Yeah.
And
Which
she
she
was
should be.
making him so happy.
He's so nice to
Awesome.
her.
No, here's the thing. He's fucking awesome. He like
From the get-go.
and I'm sorry, but
Luke sucks.
Luke,
He's
okay,
lame
here's
as
the
I don't know. He's Byronic.
here's the thing. Here was my issue. He was
Like a young
Byronic.
poet.
Were you disappointed that we didn't get to read the Elizabeth sonnet?
Oh.
Incredibly.
I was like, wait, where is the
Yeah,
Elizabeth
his
sonnet?
poem.
I was like, good on you, William, for not attempting that, but please do.
Here's the other thing too, is that the fact that Elizabeth buys into his crazy fucking shit
Yep.
instantly
Immediately.
is crazy. Like
She's a bad reporter.
she's not good. Yeah.
She's a bad brain owner.
Yeah.
She's bad at owning her brain and using it.
Cuz he is like
It should be taken from her. She's clearly not exercising it.
No.
he's like, and also just like the weird werewolf obsession that like Lord Pembroke Senior
Is it Pembroke or Pembroke? I think it's Pembroke.
probably.
I think that's how you say it, though.
Wait,
Pembroke.
versus
Pembroke.
Pembroke. I think you say Pembroke.
Pembroke. Yeah, I think Pembroke.
Really?
Pembroke.
I was saying it Pembroke in my head. This
I was
whole
thinking
time.
Pembroke, but only I think because I've heard Pembroke before in the world.
Pembroke.
But
Okay.
that
it
doesn't
up.
mean that
But
it was
sorry,
spelled
sorry,
like
sorry.
this.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
interrupting you
yeah.
for no good reason.
Pembroke.
So the like weird obsession with werewolves
Yes.
that Pembroke Senior, dead Annabelle, and Luke share
Wait, who is Annabelle?
Anne.
Oh my! Did you know that Luke's mom is named Anne?
Yeah, Anne and Annabelle are
Anne
the same.
Shepherd.
Yeah, the same.
No, those are two different names.
That's two different names.
That's two different
That's
names.
two different names.
She said that to herself so many times. I was
One
like,
only has 3 letters. The other one has more than 3.
I could not believe she was that fucking stupid.
I wanted to fucking throttle her in that moment.
Yeah.
I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, there's an A on the pentagram.
I know the whole time.
And-
The instant with that, I was like, Annabelle.
Annabelle.
And his mother's name is Anne. And there's this woman in his study named Annabelle. Gosh, there's too much disparate information to try
It
to
was
put
so
this puzzle
stupid.
together.
Even when she finds the letters,
I know. That was
like,
so
how
bad.
did that not trigger?
I know.
Because Annabelle has a son, and Anne has a son.
And then when she's like, oh, she died of pneumonia. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, this is Anne.
You
This
gotta
is-
be fucking
Yeah.
kidding me. I figured it out So quickly.
The instant that they were like, here's the thing. The instant that they were like, the two boys look really similar.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, there was a scandal 20 years ago. I was like, he's the illegitimate son.
Of course,
Yeah, as soon as they said scandal, I was like, Luke is his son.
Yeah.
He's been killing people. He killed the doctor because he was involved in the cover-up. He killed the nurse because she was involved. Done.
Yeah.
You're welcome, books.
Yeah.
I'm going to play this how to pronounce. It's taking a long time.
Pembroke.
British thing.
British.
Pembroke.
Okay, so so Luke is like, it's probably a werewolf. And Elizabeth is like, really? And he's like, werewolves are very powerful. You must be careful of the moon tonight. Here is a pendant.
okay, but there was also a lady on the street who said, beware the full moon.
Yeah, beware the full moon.
Then there was a fortune teller
was
who
that
may
about?
also have been the lady on the street.
Yeah.
They say.
They
never explain.
speculate, but for no
they're-
reason.
But both old ladies.
no.
Yeah.
It's
Both
like,
also says, beware the full moon.
Beware the full moon. So she's heard beware the full moon twice. He's like, it's a werewolf. And she's like, oh my gosh.
And fucking Lila Fowler played American Werewolf in London.
Oh, right
at
before
the
they
going away
left.
it
party.
didn't help. That did not help.
I also, and it's typical to Jessica and Lila's relationship, but how often she, on one hand, would be like, Lila would love to know, and I'd rub her face in it.
yeah.
We're also like, I miss Lila.
I
It's like,
know.
okay, wait a minute.
I miss Lila, so I can rub her face in there.
When she's like at the estate of the Pembrokes, she's like, Lila looks like a fucking turd in the dirt compared to this place. And I'm like, girl, you're so mean. But okay, so now
Okay,
let's
wait.
read the second one.
Okay.
Beauty and the Beast in London. Is Jessica Wakefield in love with the werewolf? And here's the other thing. Aside from the jacket, right? The house coat thing.
Oh, the robe. The silk.
robe,
I'm
yes.
sorry.
Oh,
silk
Jacket.
robe.
You mean
Sorry.
silk
Silk robe.
Also,
Green
how
silk
does
robe.
Jessica know what his silk robe looks like?
I know.
because that's what I thought it was going to happen is like, she's like, oh, I wasn't in my room because I asked to switch because me and
I
Robert
thought she was gonna sleep
were
with
doing
him.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't sleep with people in the high.
That's
I
true.
know.
They wait till university.
Oh, really?
Well, Elizabeth doesn't put out at first.
Uh-huh.
Todd tries to push her.
Uh-huh.
She dumps him.
Todd.
Uh-huh.
But Jessica immediately.
Did she fuck Todd?
No,
Oh.
she does that. They get married.
She and Todd?
Jessica and Todd. You know what?
I can't.
Elizabeth and Todd have been
Good,
living together
because
for like
Elizabeth
sucks.
fucking cheated
Yeah,
on
she did.
him
so hard.
so hard.
So hard.
Yeah, they get married. Elizabeth stops talking to Jessica and Todd. Understandably. Then Elizabeth starts sleeping with Bruce Patman.
Oh.
Nice tactic, girl.
And then
Interesting.
he
Bad
convinces
boy
her
Bruce.
to cut people slack because look, you're having sex with me. And so they reconcile. But Jessica and Todd are like,
Do they stay married?
Uh-huh.
What?
Yeah.
This is crazy. Are you kidding
And
me?
then Bruce gets accused
Wow.
of sexual harassment of his employees.
What?
Or maybe even sexual assault, it's bad.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And then Elizabeth doesn't really stay with it. She's like, I'm not sure. And then he sleeps with other people. And then she comes back and she's like, okay, no, I should stand by you. And he's like, oh, wait, too late. Bye.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
So she ends up alone. So she's going to get
You know
what
what?
she's earning in these books.
She really sowed the seeds for her own future pain.
It's true. I mean,
All she had to do was write a letter being like, I got to do what I got to do in London and we got to take a break.
or maybe we're supposed to, that's the thing is maybe Kate William
I met
defines
someone.
boyfriends differently.
They
Maybe
are
a boyfriend.
so committed. Liz and Todd are
on.
so committed.
Because
And
she's ready
Liz-
to hook up with Renee when she sees him.
I
She's like, we can
know.
explore what
I
we...
was honestly surprised that she wasn't just fucking both of them.
Yeah,
I know, me
While
too.
she was there, I was like, wow, Liz.
Yeah.
Liz.
Even Jessica's like,
Look
Liz
in
is
the
acting
mirror.
like me.
Yeah. And I love it.
I know.
Yeah,
I
Jessica
love
was
it.
the champ of these books.
I was
Seriously.
so excited when they didn't hate each other all through book one. All
Yep.
through book one, they were on the same team.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, cool. It's different. And then fucking books 2 and
Yep.
3 kick in. And sure enough, they're fucking impersonating each other and mad at each other.
Well, Elizabeth-
And they reconcile by going, oh, let's never fight again. We're so much better when we're a team.
I
Every
know.
fucking time. every fucking time.
And every time they get in an argument where they're not talking to each other, they're like, this is the worst it's ever been. We're never going to talk again. And for some reason,
this is the worst it's ever been.
Fucking known reason, the people in London care that the twins aren't talking. I was like,
talking.
like
They're obsessed
they're
with
like,
the
you've
twins.
got to get, you girls
oh
got
my
to be
God.
friends. You're best friends.
I'm so in love with you both. I care too much. It's been 4 days.
Even
Lucy is worried about
that's what,
it.
Lucy's
Lucy
worried.
cares about
Yes.
nothing.
I am so confused about the timeline of this book. It feels like everything takes place in 2 weeks, but they're talking about it being over. They're talking about how they've known each other for so long. But it's like in the way they describe events taking place, 2 weeks stops.
Yeah. Okay.
So stupid.
Is Jessica Wakefield in love with a werewolf?
No.
Her identical twin, Elizabeth, can't shake the feeling that Jessica's new boyfriend, Lord Robert Pembroke, is not what he seems. Could he be the vicious killer the twins have been pursuing on assignment for the London Journal?
No.
Luke,
They were not assigned
Elizabeth's
that.
English love, confirms her suspicions that Jessica is in terrible jeopardy. Meanwhile, Elizabeth's friend Lena Smith is in danger of losing the only boy she's ever loved.
Not really. Okay.
Here's the thing. This
Not
doesn't
really.
deserve half of the back of the book.
No.
I mean, I wish it was
I'm
more of the
shocked.
book.
Sure.
Me
I
too.
could have done more
do not
Undercover
give a
Princess.
shit.
Me too.
Undercover Princess, and honestly, I could have gone more with like what's happening in Portia's head as she's being so evil to
I
everyone.
know. She's being so mean. She's in danger of losing David. David knows that Lena's hiding something from him, and Lena's sure that when he discovers her secret, he'll never speak to her again.
This is like no part of the book.
This is like seriously 4 pages.
Yeah, I feel like it's in the first book.
So confused.
Yeah. Desperate, Lena turns to Elizabeth. Can Elizabeth salvage Lena's relationship and save Jessica from a wolfman too?
What?
It's a lot to put on one
Wolfman
person.
too?
Who are these people on the cover?
Who fucking knows, dude?
I guess
Okay,
David
that-
and Lena?
Maybe, but like,
Because they're looking
Why
at
is
the
she
paper.
shocked?
Yeah, she shouldn't be shocked.
She's all, oh, no,
she's
my
faking.
face.
She's faking.
oh yeah, because she did dye her hair brown
She dyed her hair brown
to be mousy.
But
And
it's
she
super
wore-
like short and pixie and cute.
Yeah. And she's also not wearing her glasses that have no prescription.
Uh-huh. That was very funny.
Also, like, okay, the twins are big idiots when it comes to the werewolf stuff.
Yeah.
But they're also big idiots when it comes to the secret princess stuff.
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
like-
Elizabeth figures it out pretty much.
It takes her a
Kind of,
long
Sort
time.
of.
Certainly, I figured out on page 2 of Knowing Lena.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
assume you guys did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Almost
when
instantly.
The names
Yeah.
are Alina and Lena.
Yeah.
She looks
Eliana.
She looks really familiar,
Yeah. And also, Jessica
I-
keeps saying that if she put in some effort, she wouldn't be so ugly.
and she doesn't know anything about Liverpool.
Yeah. Also, okay. That.
So
Oh my god, the
stupid.
bit about the sixth beetle.
Okay. I couldn't deal
I
with
read
that.
the passage like 4 times. I was like, how is this in a book?
But it was a joke.
Also,
It was a
so
joke
many
that he played
hilarious,
on others.
hilarious joke.
Hilarious.
I would like to know, in the world of these books, what the fuck the royal family is. Because she's the daughter of the queen.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, that's not Queen Elizabeth.
No.
No.
And then, like, you're super young and you've got a sister. And also, why are your names Eliana and Gloria,
Yeah.
which are not British royal names?
Yeah. No.
What is this horseshit?
Maybe there was like a King Ralph scenario where everyone was posing for a
Oh,
photograph.
yeah.
This is like
And they got
some
electrocuted.
Princess Diaries, like made up country bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah. It's made up royalty for sure.
It is so stupid. Like, just make it a little truer.
Yeah.
Also, okay. So this is one of the biggest mistakes I had and problems with these books.
Okay.
Nothing to do with anything.
Sure.
Was Kate William not aware of the public health system that exists in England?
Why?
Because she keeps talking about
homeless
how
clinic.
these people can't afford medical care. I
Yeah.
was like, they don't need
No.
what?
Yeah.
They don't. They can't afford beds.
Healthcare
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, the thing she should have focused on was the
like
whole
she's
like
never
they're-
heard
they
of the
don't
NHS.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
she needed to focus on like that they're homeless. Just focus on
Yeah,
that part.
that's fine. That
They're homeless.
exists.
They're
Yeah.
homeless. They're homeless.
But
you're right.
the fucking
The whole thing.
NHS
Yeah.
doesn't seem to exist. Like, their names are Eliana and Gloria, and NHS doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she has no idea what happens
I don't
in
think.
England.
Well, Wikipedia didn't exist
yeah,
in
that's true.
1994 when
True.
these books came out.
Also, books didn't exist when these books came out.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's true.
not that Kate William was reading. She had to pump one of these out a month.
I know. She didn't have time. She had to.
She had time to be alive.
It's true. Like
She did have time to be alive.
and
Valid.
absorb things about other countries
Well, and here's the
by
thing,
osmosis.
like to do your job, right? Like she had time to do her
Yeah,
job,
no, she
which
had a
is to
job.
do some preliminary research.
Okay,
should
we know
do
what
is-
she did. She watched American Werewolf in London.
Yeah,
yeah, she
And
did do
listened
that.
to that Warren Zevon song.
Yes.
Yeah. It was
and
all
she's
of
like,
her
"Okay,
research.
I got it."
My theory is she had already seen American Werewolf in London
Yeah.
and had
Many years ago.
already heard that Warren
Yeah.
Zevon song. That's another inconsistency in these from books 1 to 2 and 3 is that in book 1 Elizabeth is terrified of horror movies. In
Yeah.
book 2 when she goes to see the Howler with
Howling, yeah.
Howling
Oh my
with
God.
With
Luke.
Yeah.
it is treated as though like Liz can see a billion horror movies and she doesn't care because it's like
Yeah.
so ridiculous.
Because all she does is like think
She's,
about like
think about how like stupid the plot is.
Yeah. She can just point out plot holes.
also
Yeah.
okay,
That's
she's
not how it,
worst.
that's not what happened at all.
and
She was
like
scared.
also like
She's
Luke
scared.
is so fucking weird, and like she's not like he's like I'm like really into werewolves, and she just saw this horrific murder, and he's like I'm gonna take you to this werewolf movie, and she's like okay, and he's like don't worry, I'll keep you safe, and then the gift that he gives her,
Which one?
there's two,
Yeah.
one being the amulet.
I think that's kind of a necklace from your British boyfriend. Oh, I like it.
Everybody
it's got a
acts
pentagram
like-
on it.
Yeah, everybody acts like the pentagram is like, oh, do you know what the pentagram is? Like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be like good luck against werewolves. And I was like, since
Yeah, I was like,
when?
is it? And she's like,
Is
they're like,
this a thing about pentagrams?
like, there's so many people that are like, oh yes, the pentagram, the ancient symbol that repels werewolves.
Instead of like everyone associating it with the occult and Satan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, does that mean that werewolves are godly?
I think they are. They're of God. And then the other gift he gives her is just a
stray.
stray silver bullet.
Well,
But a single
Single.
silver
Just one.
bullet. Just the
Nothing
one.
to shoot it with. Just the bullet. And she's
Just
like,
keep it in your pocket. It'll keep you safe.
and she's like, I just don't really see how this is gonna. He's like, the werewolf will know you have it in your pocket, and it will
trust
know.
me, the werewolf will know.
Trust me, I'm a werewolf expert.
Also, like,
Everyone believes in werewolves.
It's-
in
They
England.
really do.
it's great to have hobbies. It is.
Sure.
It's great to have things you're interested in.
Sure, sure.
course.
Can be interested in witchy things.
If you meet someone and they are straight out the gates, 0 to 60, like, werewolves are real and I must keep you safe. Like that, like I feel like in that moment you're like, okay, cool. It's not gonna work.
Okay, but you just saw
Thanks
someone
for
with their
dinner.
This is
throat
true. You
ripped
saw
out.
their throat ripped out.
Like if I saw, okay, not to make an analogy, but
Please, by all
saw
means.
like a body with like
Yeah.
2 poked holes in its
Okay.
neck,
Okay.
and it was drained of blood.
Uh-huh.
And then I met a strange, swarthy British man.
Yeah.
And he was like, hello,
Yes.
I will protect you from the vampires.
I
I
think
might be like,
I think you would ask more questions
Oh,
than
yeah.
Elizabeth does.
oh, yeah, I'm a better reporter than
Yes, no,
Elizabeth.
you're
I
a very good reporter.
dropped out of reporting in college, and I'm a better reporter.
Dropped out of reporting.
Guys, it was real.
Oh.
I was on the crime beat, and it was too
Really?
real for me.
Oh my gosh.
A professor had been murdered and found in a trunk, like lit on fire on a trunk.
Oh my god.
And my first assignment on the crime beat was to go and try to get his family to talk to me.
Are you being for real right
I'm
now?
being for real, and I couldn't do it. And the lady was like, "I didn't think you could. I'll transfer you beats."
Really?
She's like, "I knew you couldn't do it," and I was like, "Yeah, I get good judge of character."
Were
lady."
you an intern and was there a bumbling detective involved?
No, but in my college, we University of Missouri owns a city paper, like a functioning paper.
Wow.
So you do actual stories, like real journalism, and you have a professor, so you have somebody, keeping you in line. But yeah, so it's like real reporting. So I transferred out of that into like I don't even remember what it was called, like features. Like I went from like the hardest reporting to the softest reporting, and then I became a Stratcom major.
What's Stratcom?
Stratcom?
Strategic Communications? Nice.
That's essentially what our advertising program was. So I became an ad major. So I stayed in the journalism program, but yeah, I couldn't hack
Away
it.
from the murder.
I'm better than at least Elizabeth. Jessica shows a little bit of chutzpah.
She shows a lot of promise.
Yeah, she does. She's like pretty good at writing.
Annabelle S. and she goes, that seems pretty significant that she's only in there by an initial where the other people have full names. There's only a single page in this file. Definitely taking this.
Yes.
Whereas Liz is like, whoa, normal file on Robert. Gonna need this.
Also, okay.
Just childhood injuries. Surely this
Didn't
has
Jessica grab
something
that?
to
Was
do.
Jessica the one that grabbed that?
Nope.
It was Elizabeth?
That was Elizabeth.
She's so stupid.
She's so stupid.
She also is, when she goes back to interview Lady Pembroke,
Yeah.
she's the worst.
Yeah, she's really bad. She's so
there
bad at
is
interviewing.
She's like,
no
oh, I hear
subtlety.
there was a scandal 20 years ago. Do you want to talk more about the thing in your marriage?
Maybe that's related to your mink getting replaced with a chinchilla.
Also, we never got to the bottom of that.
Can I tell
You
you
fucking
what
idiot.
I thought?
Oh my God.
What?
Do you think Luke stole the
That's
mink
what I thought.
to make a werewolf costume?
Here's the thing.
Wow.
So this is what I thought. Before I knew anything about Luke
Yes.
being involved in this werewolf thing, I was like, oh, someone's just traipsing around London in a chinchilla coat, gouging out people's throats. But I think so. But then they were like, it's wolf fur, though.
and then it got recovered.
Her chinchilla?
Her
mink.
mink did get recovered.
Oh, wait, she got a
Yeah.
wretched
Because
chinchilla.
I think it turns out
And-
it was actually just a mistake.
And then
Yeah.
I was like, so why are you going to keep interviewing her about it when it got returned?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You could have just gone there
Elizabeth.
for tea. If you're going to pretend to be Jessica anyway.
Yeah, just say, oh, I'd love to get to know you better now that I'm dating Robert. That's it.
Yeah. And Robert's like in love with her. So
Robert-
there's,
I mean-
when he tries to get them to be friends again, I was like, oh no, Robert.
Oh, my God, I know.
That night. He does it that night.
I know. He's like, oh, I'll fix it.
And then poor Jessica, who's like a different person in these books,
Yeah.
is like being very subtle and like generic in her answers so
Yeah.
that she doesn't give away what the fuck Liz did. And she doesn't know what Liz asked either.
No. She should have sold Liz out.
It's nasty.
Yeah. I mean, and
Some
also, like,
nasty
okay.
behavior from Liz.
Hey guys, we're going to take a quick break from the show to talk to you about one of our sponsors, Lola. Lola is a modern approach to feminine care.
Lola is a bunch of tampons and pads and liners and other stuff that you can receive on a monthly basis that are made from things that are good for you and not bad for you.
Yeah, they help you maintain and clean the visuani.
You've heard us talk about them before. So one of the things I like most about Lola is that most major brands use a mix of synthetic ingredients in their products, which includes rayon and polyester. Gross, that's weird. Those go in shirts, and maybe sometimes shouldn't go in shirts. Their feminine care products may also be treated with harsh chemical cleansing agents, fragrance, and dyes, whereas Lola products are 100% organic cotton with no added chemicals, fragrances, synthetics, or dyes.
I'm going to tell you right now, don't put a fragrance in your
You're
in
not
your-
supposed to
in your
do that.
area.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Do not.
Do not. Listen, that time of the month, it ain't an easy time.
Oh, I
But
love
guess what? Lola makes it a little
it. I
easier.
look forward to it every month.
Here's the thing. You look forward to it because of Lola.
Yeah.
Their subscription is fully customizable. You can choose your mix of products, mix of absorbency, number of boxes, frequency of delivery. Their subscription is super flexible. You can change, skip, or cancel your subscription at any time.
And Lola now offers cleansing wipes
Yay!
that are safe for use anywhere on the body. You could use them on your arm
Your face,
or your face, inside your ears. Don't use them on your eyeballs.
in your boo hole.
That would be stupid. Definitely that last
around
one.
your boo hole.
Around
clean up,
and
clean up
around.
that boo.
I hate
Clean that
I
cinnamon boo hole.
don't like where we've gone with this. The wipes are biodegradable, all natural, and they're perfect for a midday refresh.
Listen, it's 3 p.m. You've been sitting swampy
Like-
at your desk. You need a little refresh. Grab a wipe.
You know what? It's about the middle of the day.
It's about the middle
You know
of the
what
day.
I could use?
A refresh.
An appropriately timed refresh. They are individually packaged and perfect for on the go. So you just slip them in your purse along with your little lining in case your period starts, and your one tampon. Everybody does this the way I do, right? That's what I do.
Yeah.
So you can just add it to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're gynecologist approved. I mean, that is so important. I feel like so many things that are marketed towards women are not, like a gynecologist would be like, don't use this.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Lola, they got a thumbs up.
Yeah. I've never heard a gynecologist tell me to use something that isn't 100% organic cotton.
Yeah,
They're like, you know what brand I love? The brand that doesn't use 100% organic cotton.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I love Lola because no one likes to be caught during red tide with no tamps, no pads, no nothing.
It sucks.
It sucks. It so sucks.
You know what? And this is sad, but I do think that it is a perk of Lola. Mm-hmm. When I do need to buy more tampons, I don't like everyone in a store knowing that I'm on my period. Mm-hmm. I don't need people to know that about me.
I just don't need people to like make any kind of comment.
I just don't want them even thinking about me having genitals.
Okay, well that's a you thing. That's a you thing.
Me.
Here's the thing. I walk
You
in
love it.
and I say, I got a vag. That's what I say. But also, the thing I didn't know I wanted until I got Lola was like a sleek box and like cute tampon wrappers.
I like both those things, and I like there are way more types, like absorbency types in a Lola box than I would normally buy for myself. So because they come automatically, I'm like, yeah, I'll use that super light one. Whereas before I would have been like, ugh, like use a regular one. It's not appropriate.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to do that.
No, you're not. You're
not
really
supposed
not.
to use a tampon that's more than what you need.
Use only what you
for
need.
your personal flow. Women.
Personal flow.
Personal flow. Go with your personal flow.
So you're probably sitting there thinking, okay, get to the discount.
Yeah. I think you thought that, I want to say 3 minutes ago.
Yeah. So, okay, here it is. You get 40% off all subscriptions. All you have to do is visit mylola.com, enter promo code CREEPS40 when you subscribe.
So again, if you go to mylola.com, that's mylola.com, and you enter the promo code CREEPS40 when you subscribe, you get 40% off all subscriptions.
That's amazing.
Of any kind.
So get
Tampon
on board.
stuff, sex stuff, liner stuff,
Cleansing
wipe
wipes.
stuff, lube stuff, all of it. Any subscription.
So get on board. Have a clean vag and boo.
Okay. Anyway, back to the show.
So what is the evidence that Elizabeth has been hearing, right? Like, the dad be like, oh, my son, everyone, he did it, or everyone's going to think he did it. I have to hide him.
Yeah,
All the evidence points to Robert.
Elizabeth doesn't put it together, but she should, because we have all the pieces about the cigarette case. I think the cigarette case is the most damning piece of evidence.
Yeah. And
But Elizabeth doesn't figure it out. Even though she
says like, oh, I wonder where my cigarette case is.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did with it. And so, and then she knows the cigarette case has Robert's initials on it.
Yeah.
But
And
she never,
she's like, oh, that's the guy who was holding the cigarette case.
Oh, yeah. She's so stupid.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
She is not picking up on anything.
yeah.
No.
I think she thinks because he's rich, he's a killer. Even though she should know, because, guys, I don't know if you noticed the numbers of these books. This is only 104, 105, 106. So, Evil Twin.
Oh, my
just
fucking God.
happened.
Oh, my God. I wasn't even thinking
So
about
they
that.
know that a poor can be evil.
Yes, they totally know. Look to the poor.
my
Look to the illegitimate
God.
kids who don't know what
Also,
their parents.
What is taking place in between?
Okay.
Only
I was
3
hoping you would
things.
ask.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
So in between, and we knew about this because we have read The Wakefields of Sweet Valley.
Yes.
But we find out more about, or Jessica and Elizabeth find out about, first is the one called Almost Married. Todd.
Whoa.
The parents move out. Ned and
Okay.
Alice like go on a vacation.
Sure.
So Todd moves into the house.
Why
Like,
does he have to do that?
to be like a live-in boyfriend? And he's like, really into it. And Elizabeth's like, I don't know.
what? With the parents there?
No, because the parents are like on vacation. Like they're on a trip.
His parents are gone.
Oh, I don't know
like-
where his parents are.
That's so funny.
but
It's like
her parents are gone. So
in
he moves
Evil
into her
Twin,
house.
they're like, we should never have gone on vacation.
And then they go away. And then while they're gone, Elizabeth finds out, and I think Jessica does too, but Elizabeth finds out that her mother and Bruce's father were in love and engaged before.
I remember that.
Yes. So she finds that out and she's like scandalized.
Okay.
And then Bruce's parents are on the rocks.
Oh.
And then Ned and Alice get on the rocks.
what?
So then and then Bruce and Elizabeth, I think they tail them, but they find out that Hank Patman
What?
and Alice Wakefield are having like dinners together.
What?
Maybe dating now.
So fast.
What?
So fast. But then Elizabeth and Bruce start to have feelings. They don't know. This is weird because Bruce is being all vulnerable because
Oh
he's sad
my
about his
God.
parents.
What?
Well, they do get married later.
Yeah. So, but then Ned and Alice get back together and everything.
Okay.
And then status quo. So
Okay.
like she shouldn't even be that secure in her relationship with Todd.
No.
Because she's already been having feelings for other people. Really recently.
Bruce.
So yeah, but it's a much lighter, it's like a romantic, it's like
Yeah.
more romance stuff.
Not as much murder.
Yeah, so they have serial killer.
Yeah.
So it's more
3
soap.
books.
Yeah.
And then another serial killer. And they don't mention it.
The
Wait,
fact
they
that they're
have-
not like, man,
They have more than 3 books in between because Evil Twin is 100, but what is Return of the Evil Twin? It's not 101.
No. Return of the Evil Twin
It's,
was
like, way later.
A manga that had, or manga, whatever they called it.
Yeah.
Like the big books. But that doesn't come out until later. So yeah, so it was Evil Twin, then The Boyfriend War, then Almost Married, then Operation Love Match. So if you can see there's like a love thing
Operation
happening.
Love. Okay, love.
And then came Love and Death in London. So it was
Oh,
just
yeah.
those 3 in the middle.
That is how counting works. I remember now.
But yeah, they are not. You would think that it would be fresher because they just had a serial killer. It also makes
That's
me feel
insane.
like the Evil Twin must have been so successful
yeah,
because like 3 books is probably long enough for like they probably came out.
yeah,
People freaked out. We're so excited about Evil Twin. They're like, oh, we got to have more murders.
yeah. I think so.
Because
I think we really got to go for it.
in the first 100 books, I mean, poor Regina dies, but otherwise there are like there's no murder. It's not a murder
Murder.
series.
But there's a lot of murder happening here.
In 6 books, there's like 15 murders.
And I'm sure they were like, we cannot have this many murders happening in Sweet Valley.
Yeah, it would
so they
turn Sweet
have
Valley.
to go to somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay, and then
Okay,
the third
sorry.
book.
Which I
Or
think is the
yeah,
best
she just
cover.
remembered having
Yeah, it does.
seen an American werewolf in London. She's like, what about that?
Oh,
She
this
was at
is
a
What
Blockbuster.
about that? Yeah.
this is a really good cover.
Isn't that a good cover?
The insight's cool.
Oh, I like those. I remember that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Does this is rude. Does anyone else think that the twins are just average looking
Oh,
Based on the pictures?
based on the illustrations?
I mean,
here's the thing. Aren't they like 90s pretty? Or like, you
guess.
know? Because I think they're fine. I think they're perfectly fine
Yeah,
looking girls.
average.
But the way that everyone's like,
That's what I
you're
mean.
So, you know what it is? It's their twins.
I think it's that they're
people
twins.
do go crazy for
I
blonde.
think
twins.
they're like petite and cute.
Yeah. Well, they're perfect size 6s.
They're perfect size
It's just-
sixes.
They look like they're 40.
Not
Not that 40-year-olds aren't
But
beautiful.
to be a teenager,
But
Yes.
they're average, and
the-
they get treated like they're fucking supermodels.
Yeah, the original watercolor
They're
paintings,
pretty.
They're pretty. I think is it Brittany Daniel, the girl who played the
Sure.
twins in the
Oh,
television show, is exceptionally pretty.
I don't even think
me
that
see.
she's exceptionally pretty.
I
gonna
think
look
she's
her
She's
up.
certainly
if she was
prettier
sitting
than
at this table,
It's
we'd all be
more
like-
under. No, I think I'm about her level.
what's her name? Brittany Daniel?
I think it's Brittany Daniel is her name.
No, she is beautiful. She is prettier
Sweet
than
Valley?
these
Yeah.
illustrations.
Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley.
I can't handle this.
Oh yeah, she's very beautiful.
Right?
Manga.
Magna.
Manga. I had to look up manga. Manga.
Yeah, it's like weird. Yeah.
Like if somebody did criticize us fairly, which is, if we know how to say the word, we should probably say it that way.
if we know the correct pronunciation.
We know the
Is it
correct
actually
pronunciation.
manga?
It's manga.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that.
Oh, I thought you were just teasing white guys with swords on their walls for like leaning into the Japanese pronunciation. No, it's actually manga.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
Okay, but it's not spelled that way.
It's Magna.
It's Magna.
No. I'm talking about. What,
Okay, but how do you pronounce that word?
that's
I think
Magna.
Magna.
It's not Magna?
But that's not what I thought you were talking about.
No, I said it weird. I think I swapped
You said.
I said the N
You said
first.
manga or manga, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, she must be talking about a manga.
No, I'm talking about the MAGNA editions.
the
Well,
like big ones.
Luckily,
big
that
books.
reminded me to look
Like
up
Magna.
the
No, I'm glad
pronunciation.
we know. Like Magnum Opus.
Yeah,
So
I think
Magna.
so.
It's definitely
Magna.
Magna.
I only read Magnas at a certain point because I was like, these books, like this might be I think these were the
They're
last.
far more interesting.
Well, and
I would only
fast.
ever read the
Yeah.
Sweet Valley High ones that had to do with murder or supernatural stuff because that's what I liked reading.
Yeah.
I could give no shits about the soap opera Sweet Valley.
I definitely
Oh,
gave
that's
shits.
Ryan loves
Yeah,
the soap
although,
opera
like,
stuff.
I'm not saying you're
went too
wrong
fast.
too.
Yeah.
That just wasn't my bag.
Yeah, because this was a time when I wasn't paying for my own books, so I can only get my mom to get me a certain number of books. But
That
she would
makes a lot
never
of
look
sense.
at the price of a book. So if I could get her, if she's gonna buy me 2 books, they better be like 500-page books.
Yeah, you gotta get a cube. Okay, and then this is the
funny.
last book. A werewolf in their midst. A savage werewolf is loose in London, and identical twins Elizabeth and Jessica Wakefield could be its next targets. On assignment for the London Journal, the twins are on the trail of the most deadly killer since Jack the Ripper. And also when
It took too long for Jack the Ripper to come up. By the
Also-
way, it should have always been about Jack the Ripper.
in this first book, Friday, she's like, this may be the most brutal murder London has ever seen. And I was like, there's a very famous murder that you're not thinking of.
I think someone mentioned Jack the Ripper to Kate William when she was writing the 3rd book.
And she's like,
oh,
shit.
Fuck, I forgot. Or she's like, who?
I don't know her. When he ransacks their room and leaves telltale claw marks, the twins know they must capture the maniac before he captures and kills them. Wait, so telltale claw marks? These are the claw marks of a werewolf.
Well, what else would they be the claw marks of?
Literally
They came to-
anything. A sword.
They took Annabelle's file. That's clearly a werewolf. No one else would do that. Took a silver bullet.
That's true. He took the silver bullet and he took Annabelle's file and he shredded the bed.
Want to handle a silver bullet?
Yeah, wouldn't it hurt his fingers or something? I don't
to
know.
go back to what you were talking about how he gives her but a single silver
a
bullet.
loose
No
silver bullet.
gun. That's crazy.
Why is he also like, fuck, I have to get that back?
I know, and then he's like, they're the
Not gonna
enemy.
hinder you.
No.
I'm not gonna hinder
Okay.
you.
Ultimately, it's Bumpo that shoots him.
No, it's Robert.
Here's
that
another
a silver
thing.
bullet.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, it does
Wait,
get
remember
kicked
'cause
away.
they
It
had
gets
it.
kicked away.
So did he use the silver bullet?
No, because
Wait, who had the gun?
Luke
Didn't
took it
Luke
back.
have the gun? But who had the gun? Didn't Luke have the gun?
No, I'm sure Luke thought he was gonna fucking rip her up like he's a werewolf.
Yeah, he was like, I can't wait to werewolf all over the place.
Robert had the gun. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna werewolf out.
Here's my question. Couldn't they just like pistol whip the guy? Did they have to shoot him in the heart?
Well, there's a struggle.
They could have shot him in like the arm or something.
He was a murderer, Kelly. He murdered multiple people, and now he's
Also-
alone with one of the twins.
I know, one of the twins. The twins.
Also, that fucking loose end needs to be tied up before she goes back to Todd.
I know.
Yeah.
Fucking kill him.
Even though Renee is
Too
still wandering around.
complicated.
I know. I was like,
Renee started. Why does she all of a sudden? So she's like, why won't Renee just be my friend? And then she's like, I'm gonna go see where Renee is. Where's Renee?
Yeah.
He knows I'm going through something.
Okay, when
What a callous, horrible
God.
friend. I was like, where the fuck did this come
This was
from?
like
She
Jessica
knocks on his
behavior.
door and
No,
he
this
doesn't
is-
answer. She's like,
yeah.
"How dare you not answer?" It's like, you don't even
Yeah.
know he's in
I
there.
know, I know. And then
Meanwhile, he's following you all around town to make sure you don't
know.
get killed.
She thought someone might be following her.
I thought it was a bad guy, but it was my guardian angel.
and then and the whole time he's like, I was so worried about you.
Was that your French accent?
Very French.
I must go back to the embassy.
I left my time at the embassy.
I invited you to a
refuse
function.
to participate in this bit.
This is my actual French.
This is our serious French
sorry.
accent.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant the bit about what Renee was saying. I cannot
You can't come
hold
up
a candle to your guys' accents.
But we know that's not even true. You have secret good accents. This is a part you're playing.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
there was
what
a
I'm
part.
I'm going to drop character.
There was a
No.
part where I laughed so hard because I thought I knew what was going to happen and it was not. So the whole time, Portia is like, she's like, you know, I was a really big bitch to you guys, but it was like all method acting. And then she's like,
They don't ever say the
I
term
was going to
method
say,
acting.
that
ever
drove
say
me
that.
fucking nuts. That
Yeah.
she never said method
she was like,
acting.
I was
like,
just acting like I was using this method in which I.
And she was doing the lines, which was kind of awesome.
Yeah, no,
That
she was
she
the fact that
used
she was
the lines from the play.
I loved Portia.
So she's like trying to tell her friends about like how her dad doesn't approve of her.
Right.
And she's like, when he finally did see me perform, instead of praising me or just saying something vaguely encouraging, he ridiculed me in front of everyone, telling me that I had no talent. And I thought she was going to be like, and he was method acting.
It's so good.
But it didn't happen.
Honestly, I was kind of hoping he was going to do that when he saw her at the play.
I was too. I was like,
Because then if she's a real artist,
Yeah.
she would stick with it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I
instead,
believe
he
she would
cheered for her.
have,
He also blew
but-
up her spot.
I know.
Part of the reason she changed her name was to not be associated with you, bro.
I know. And he came
Well,
in and
it
he was
was
like,
just
yes, it's me, the famous actor.
Well, if you're a bad narcissistic dad,
true.
what would you do?
True,
I
true,
know.
true.
He's
yeah,
also
you take partial credit.
yes, and he gets them into the Pembroke estate later.
True. That was
Pembroke
so
Green.
funny. He sneaks them in. Like he's like, yeah,
By
I'll get
walk.
you in, and they go in, and he's like, give me money for this theater. Great, thanks, bye.
He's like, I'm done now, right? All right, later, Porsche.
So he does it as a favor, but still gets like thousands of pounds out of
Yes.
the woman.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he still like wins out.
Yeah. I
was
thought that
amazing.
was so funny. I was like, man, she really got bamboozled.
She did. Because she wanted to be one of those people that gives the money.
Well, I guess she already was one.
Yeah, and she has
Yeah.
her life is tough.
It is tough.
Her son's on the
That's
run.
true.
Her
Here's the
husband is a
thing.
creep.
I felt like they didn't give her enough time for us, or we didn't get enough time to be like, oh, that is shitty. Like her life sucks because she's in a loveless marriage in which her husband pines away after some dead woman.
While being and is obsessed with werewolves, so spends all his time in a secret werewolf room.
Okay, the fact that they call it the secret werewolf library.
Also, how is there? Is really Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde the best book? I mean, I guess that's literally what's happening. That's a more accurate thing of
It
what
is
Luke is becoming.
It's
so
me, your old
stupid.
pal, Eddie Hyde. Eddie Hyde.
They use the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde book as
Which
like,
Elizabeth coincidentally started reading earlier
oh yeah.
in the first book.
That's just
Yeah.
like boring. That is a boring book.
Here's the thing. She's like, I just want to know all about like British literature. And when she's like, oh, I can't wait to do journalism in Britain because of all of the famous authors there.
Right,
I was like,
I was
what?
like, that's
Do you
not
want to do
journalism.
fiction?
Yeah. I was like,
'Cause
which do
fiction's
you
cool.
want? That's cool.
That's cool.
Oh my god, what if it was a literary magazine that she went to go work at?
Oh my
and
God.
started investigating murders.
About as plausible.
Yeah. But yeah, so they use Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as like it's like the fake book that you pull to get the secret
Werewolf library.
werewolf library, which like can you imagine if like that's what your husband was secretly doing all the time? like you're like, please let it be an affair, and then you find out that he's got like this ancient like secrets of like pottery or whatever, lycanthropy.
Lycanthropy.
Lycanthropy, and it's like from a dead woman that he once loved, and you're just
Yeah.
like, this is
It's
what's
also in
happening
French.
here. It's in French.
En français.
Where?
The other, my biggest thing, and this goes, I think, close to like your NHS thing, was when Elizabeth had to have the concept of class explained to her
Oh yeah,
and was treated like she couldn't possibly be
My fucking
aware
God.
of class. I was like, you live in a society.
yeah,
You
Like,
are
class
high
ex-
class.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, you know how you feel about like Regina?
yeah, exactly.
How you like feel about people whose like parents both have to work?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
class.
she can't remember because Regina died overdosing on coke.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah.
she like anyone that's
doesn't
dead, she doesn't remember
remember
them.
It's so hard. How can it fit in her brain?
I know.
Right,
she's
no,
she's
it's
too
so
busy.
small.
She has to like.
As soon as one thing enters, another thing falls out.
She has to be told her name once every 6 days.
You probably have learned too much now. Your name is Elizabeth.
Thank you. And then she forgets about fucking
like-
Luke.
Yeah. Ugh.
Or she forgot the capital of Missouri. It's just gone now.
Those are like similar
Just a
facts to
random
her.
fact gets kicked out.
I mean, so I feel like we should have gotten, just a little bit more time to be like, to sympathize with the
Yeah.
mom, with
Yeah, like-
the lady.
Liz is sympathetic at the end, but we only ever experience her as a bitch.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, so like the things that are going on in these books are the werewolf stuff,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
pretend princess or like fake princess,
Jessica in Love.
Or
Jessica
real
in
princess,
Love,
fake Liverpudlian.
fake Liverpudlian, Jessica in Love, Elizabeth
method
in Love,
acting.
method acting,
That
Secret Son.
Secret Son.
Secret Son.
Oh, bitchy house lady.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
That
isn't
never
her
pays off
name
either.
Mrs.
No.
Hyde?
No, it's like Mrs. Baker or something. Miss
Yeah, Bates.
Bate.
Oh, Bates.
Is it Bates?
It's
Is it?
Bates, yeah. I think. There's
journalism.
Nothing ever happens to Emily.
Emily, who the fuck is that? Oh yeah. Every time Emily kept coming back, I was like, "Who's this?"
Well, she had to be
Yeah,
like,
me
hey, I'm from
too.
Sydney.
yeah, that's right.
every
She's like, "I have red
single-
hair and I'm from Sydney."
And I am interning at the BBC, the British Broadcasting Channel. Or
yeah,
like the fact that she was like, the BBC, here's what the BBC is. It's like, we know.
she's like, "I'm interning
Everyone
television
knows
journalism, which is a thing that the BBC does. I'm doing it at the BBC."
Okay, on the day of the press
Conference.
why couldn't Elizabeth tell anybody once it had already started? Why couldn't she be like, hey, Jessica, this is what's happening?
Because she just wants to be
Hey,
a bitch.
Emily.
She just wanted to
What's
see her
happening?
face.
She just wants to be like fucking
wants the
superior.
reveal.
So this is the whole thing too. All right. So okay, secret princess. She's dating David. She's like,
Well, first, she's very reticent to date him. She's like shy. 'Cause
and okay, this
she's
is
like,
the
I'm
other
so
thing.
scared.
she just wants to volunteer at the soup kitchen. That's all
Yeah.
she wants to do.
She's very busy with the soup kitchen. And then this was the part too that I was kind of like "Ugh," about was like, we know because we know the formula of these books
Yeah.
that she's interested in David, but from how she's acting,
Not.
should stop.
she's not interested in David. He should stop, and the twins should back the fuck
Well,
up.
Yep.
I just thought it was like, she was running away because he was always on the verge of finding out that she wasn't from Liverpool.
All he wanted to fucking
that's
talk
all he
about
wanted
was
to talk
Liverpool.
about.
So
He was,
boring.
like, all he could think to bond with her on.
Also, like, he's just like,
So
oh, do
funny.
you remember this diner on this corner? And do you remember this and that? And she's like, oh, a bird.
I wasn't allowed to leave the house.
I know what she said.
Meanwhile, she knows everything about
I
London.
know. She's like, that place used to be cool.
and
like 2
everybody's
years
like,
ago.
what do you mean? She's like, I think I read it somewhere.
Also, like, her slip-ups are like,
Every
she's like,
time.
I was never allowed to leave the house.
Everybody's slip
So
up.
many slip-ups that are
Everybody's
so
slip
bad.
up
They're
was like
really
that.
bad,
It
really
was driving
bad.
me fucking
Really bad
nuts.
slip-ups. Really bad slip-ups.
Oh man. It's like my mother. My mother.
Yes.
When I lived in the my home, or when I was talking to, when
when she's like, oh, well, Robert's not a bad guy.
No, she
Or
doesn't
she's
call
like,
him
Rob.
She calls him Rob.
She's like, oh, Rob's not a bad guy. And they're like, what?
No, okay,
And
a bad guy or a bad sort? Because I
Bad
believe
sort.
she says
Bad
he's
sort.
not a bad sort,
bad sort,
multiple times.
which
Yeah.
was like, I feel like the closest Kate got to actually approximating how British people
Oh,
speak.
wait. What about when she calls people naffs and
Nards.
nards?
Nards.
I meant to Google that.
Wolfman's got nards.
That's what it came
That's
from.
what it came from. Oh my god, that's a shout out to
okay.
Monster. What is it? Monster House? No,
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad.
Yes. Though, yeah.
Man,
But I love when Jessica's like, all of your friends like Winston are narps. Elizabeth's like, I'm sorry, Winston is both of our friends. I may be cheating on Todd and being awful to everyone in Sweet Valley, but let's talk about Winston.
and then it's like, yeah, I'm just kidding. Jessica lied.
yeah.
This says that Narg is
Oh, Narg.
Narg.
Narg. This says that Narg is an acronym slang.
Uh-oh.
In
Now I'm
Britain.
worried.
I'm scared.
It's going to be horrible.
No,
What is
not
it?
a real gentleman. person
man.
obsessive about a boring topic. So I guess that could be like a nerd.
Yeah, but
What a
that's
narg. But it's not the same as how
No.
we use nerd
It's like a
all
bore.
around. Yeah.
Which I wouldn't say that Winston's a bore.
No, he's very annoying.
I would say like Ken Matthews is kind of one.
But you wouldn't say that about him because he's attractive.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You can't say that about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's too cute.
Well, it seems
Luke
like
is
somebody
kind of a
who would
bore.
like go on
Luke,
and on
yeah.
about comic books.
Right, or
But
werewolves.
it's not but that's not Winston.
No.
See how Luke is a total narg.
yeah, no, Luke,
Luke is the nargiest.
He's
the nargest of all nargs.
He
Ultimate narg.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're interested in werewolves? Like, what's your favorite kind of werewolf? Like from
Oh, he hates fake werewolf girls.
Yeah, he hates fake werewolf girls.
Oh shit. NAF. What does NAF mean?
Uh-oh.
This is from the fucking Guardian.
Okay, the Guardian will not lie to us. They will ask us for money after we read
Yeah.
this article, but they
Yeah.
will not lie to us.
Semantic enigmas. What does NAF mean? The word doesn't exist in US slang and defies the best efforts of my British friends to define it. They tell me that naffness is close in meaning to kitsch and camp and naive bad taste, but none of these definitions is spot on. Can the Guardian readers do a better job of defining it? From Peter Post, Boston, USA. Apparently, this is
PETA.
a fucking message board on the Guardian
PETA
or something.
Peter Post is he's like really bumming out all his friends because he keeps being like, guys, what would you say is the American equivalent of a naff?
Do you have any British friends? Can we get them on the horn?
And I think someone was like, why don't you just write in the fucking Guardian? And he's like, I think I will.
That's an excellent idea. Thank you, friend.
I'm so glad we're best friends.
Why, capital idea, old chap.
The way that she has Robert speaking is as if she like heard through heard someone watching like Downton Abbey through a wall.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I say, why don't I take you out to a delightful lunch? And I'm like, why is he talking?
I love it. I love everything about
like
Robert.
this.
I love that his solution to his problems is to dress like a homeless person, but not like an actual one.
No.
Like a
Like
bad
Oliver
theater
Twist.
production version of a homeless person with a big floppy hat
Yeah.
and a.
He's like, I'm being mistaken for a werewolf. I have to go run away. Why don't I find some cloths on the ground and a big hat, and I'll put some. I'll be like a chimney sweep.
But oh no, no one recognizes me.
Oh.
This is what it must be like to be poor.
I've learned so much being poor for 7 days.
Kelly, are you a New York American old actress from 1920?
There's a little Katharine Hepburn in
There's
there.
a little bit of Catherine Hepburn here.
I'm loving it.
Oh, I'm gonna find a costume.
You're
like kind of Carol Channing.
Why don't I find some funny tulle from the curtains? Yeah, it's that. It's
is
literally like,
That's Robert.
and he's like, isn't this grand? I'm a. You can mistake me for a mere pauper on the street. One would never know that I'm a little baby lord.
This voice.
I should put this on my reel.
I think it's great. I mean, honestly, your SNL audition. I think you're
so
in it.
much. This is my
Oh,
impression.
man.
This is
First, you give them the books to read.
Robert Penbroke Jr.
Kelly Nugent.
Kelly Nugent. Help me here. Why don't you? I'll sit quietly while you read these 3 books.
I've marked the most important passages. If you have any questions, when you get to the wait,
If
what,
you have
we
any
can discuss.
questions, which you will, I won't be able to answer them.
If they're about Luke and his motives, they die. with him.
I saw another thing that said NAF is also an acronym, and it is not available for fucking. And that is
that just means.
well, that's
does that
I
mean
guess
married?
that's like gay
prudish?
slang.
Oh.
Not available.
Somebody
for
said
fucking?
somebody said it was that. Somebody said it
Like
was gay
asexual?
slang, like so that you could talk about sex without anybody knowing what you were talking about. And then another person was like, it just means lame. But I think it probably started at some point. It was like, oh, that's gay.
Oh.
Not available
Like,
for
oh,
fucking.
you're such a naff.
So not available for fucking means like I can't fuck that person.
Maybe.
I mean, who knows? I believe
I
you.
heard many years ago
Yeah.
that the term, an acronym of not available for fucking, originated in the UK gay community and gained by extension the sense of no good or useless.
Maybe
That's
he's
for somebody in
straight.
Australia.
Maybe he's straight.
And you know what? If there's one thing that Robert is,
Yeah, it originally meant not available for fucking, i.e. straight, and therefore boring.
Okay, there you go.
I'm into it actually.
So
I've turned the corner.
That's so not gay.
Yeah.
So ungay
Oh,
right
so
now,
not gay.
man.
Yay. Okay. Well, so okay.
So what? So Elizabeth is kind of an F
Yeah. Yeah. And
and a narg.
a narg. And the most that happens sexually in these books is kissing and like kissing on the neck and shit, right?
Yeah, I think there's some making out. I mean, there are a few like fade to black kind of moments. So like
There are.
So like Jessica and Robert could have done like some hand stuff, and
Yeah.
we wouldn't know.
They could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, done some.
It's like
dry humping.
She felt warmer than she ever had.
Yeah, there was
under
that.
the full moon.
Yeah.
And then the
then
next thing you hear,
next.
she's in her. She knows what his silk robe looks like.
Yeah, that's true. She didn't know what a silk robe looked like.
I mean, he is the type that
Done
would
and
wear
done.
a silk robe around.
while fucking.
No.
Oh, just after.
Just like I'm saying, they wouldn't necessarily have to fool around. Like
Oh,
I could see him wear
he
his
could
pajamas
change
and
into
put
that.
a silk
I
robe
see what
over
you're
top
saying.
and just like go for a walk.
But also,
Yes.
yes, well, fucking.
But yeah, he ties it.
And ties it. Okay, 'cause I was wondering if it was maybe like
And then
open
you
like the
fuck.
curtains, open like some blackout
it's
curtains.
just Hugh Hefnering it. What?
sad.
Sexy.
That's hot.
What? Everybody thinks Playboy is hot.
I did enjoy myself reading these books though.
I'm glad.
Because I was like, what the hell is
I had a
going
very
on?
good time.
Yeah, they're so fun.
There's so much happening.
Also, they're available on Kindle Unlimited for free.
Yeah. All
so
the Sweet
you guys
Valley
should get
books
on
are.
get on board
I
for
was
this.
so fucking excited.
I was happy.
I didn't know.
Oh no.
Wow.
I mean, like I said, some of these two are from my personal collection, and then this one, when I bought it, I liked this cover better. This is the British cover.
Really?
So I was like, if I'm gonna,
Did they correct all the speaking?
I don't know.
Everybody sounds so inauthentic.
Yeah.
It is fucking painful.
Yeah.
It's like she learned 4 bits of slang.
Yeah.
And that, but in general, everybody was talking like they were in a PG Woodhouse book. Like, what ho? Have you? Which
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
way? And that's by gum.
At
Yeah.
one point, Jessica's like, it's like being in an Agatha Christie novel. And I was like, no, those
No.
are really tightly plotted.
Yeah.
No, those are good.
Those are well written.
Yeah.
Motives are clear.
Like there's actually stakes. It's kind of scary.
Also,
yeah,
okay.
you're actually confused as opposed to instantly figuring it out.
Okay, as much as Luke does murder people,
Yes.
I still think worst boyfriend is police chief. Because he does.
How dare you?
Wait, police chief.
His fiance
How
is straight up
dare
murder.
you.
Oh, yeah,
And he
that guy.
covers it up.
Yeah.
Just like all the other.
For a friend.
For a jerk.
Yeah. That
I don't
I
know.
agree. He's not a good boyfriend.
You guys bros before hosts.
Also, maybe do you bring her to the house?
I had questions about what they did with the body. Any of the bodies.
Would you?
I-
Huh?
Like the one at the
What
house.
does that mean?
I do like
What do you mean you have questions? They took him to the morgue.
But they hid it.
they didn't hide the bodies, they just took them away.
Okay.
And they
I
took
was
them away,
worried.
and then they
I was
told
no
worried about
one
the bodies.
reported on
right.
it.
They just
is
told
all.
the journalists not to.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
The story got squashed, not the actual
Not the
physical
body.
evidence.
Yeah.
Not the body.
Not the body.
Though it was pretty
But-
effed up when they tried to say the princess was dead.
That was
I was
crazy.
like, 'cause can you imagine what would actually
I'm glad that
happen?
dude got fired.
He
Me
deserved
too,
to be
me
fired.
too.
Yes.
Though at first when we meet him,
And
we're
you
told
guys,
he's like
Lucy deserved that job. She was very good on the crime beat, and therefore would make a very good editor in
she
chief.
was a hothead.
She was a little mean.
Yeah,
she
that's
yelled
what
a
I
lot.
expect. It's a newsroom.
It's an
serious.
abusive relationship.
You're supposed to get abused in the newsroom
All right, then she's perfect.
and in politics.
Okay, let's talk really quickly about the thing that made Lindsay gasp, which was the wedding at the end of the book.
Oh, so romantic.
I don't. That's the only thing I didn't see coming.
I truly did not see that coming. I was like, what?
I was like, they just said that they love each other.
That was crazy
should
too.
Why do they have to
made
get
it
married?
a time jump. They should have made it like,
Yeah.
oh, now it's the end of the summer. We're going to this wedding.
Well, they kind of
And
did, but they're
but
like,
they
it's the end of the
say-
summer. They're going back soon, and yet it's still only a few days after everything
Yeah.
has happened.
so then
Which
that means
again,
how
I
much
don't
time has
exactly.
occurred.
I don't understand the timeline because they keep talking about it as though they've known each other forever. This has been a summer long thing. Blah blah blah. But when days and events are actually described, 2 weeks have gone by.
I wonder if the first book is like 7 weeks.
It might be because there was a
Because
lot of time of them like
There's
getting
like,
used to
they
everything.
hang out. They go to the because remember they're like we go to the Slaughtered Lamb all the time. When did you go all the time? It must have
Exactly.
happened in here before the shit happened. Because once the murders are happening all the time, the Slaughtered Lamb is no longer Elizabeth's favorite place because it makes her think of
I know.
murder.
The slaughtered lamb is now tainted for her.
It's not tainted. They have a lot of tea.
But it's like
They do have a lot of tea.
But Robert invites Jessica to the country very quickly, and that's how the first book ends.
That's true. Well, so I don't know. Maybe there was like, there were a couple weeks here and there that I think just fell through the cracks. It had to. But so
Or
the
maybe-
wedding. Okay.
Or she doesn't care.
Or the Wakefields were in year-round school, which was an experiment that some Southern California schools did.
Yes.
True.
So they
I think
only
they still
got-
do that
and
in
some
schools.
LAUSD I think does
So,
that.
so they only got 5 weeks. So that's their whole summer.
There you go. There you go.
It all makes sense.
It makes
now.
sense now. So okay, they finish up the murder stuff. They're like, oh, the murderer is dead, and it's Luke.
And right before he died, he confessed to the murders to Elizabeth, so we know for sure he was the murderer.
He was the murderer.
He has a journal.
Everyone's like, wow.
Okay, and she keeps the journal part. She keeps the journal.
Yeah,
She takes it, not the police.
Right.
She takes it.
she should give it to the police.
She should.
No, that's hers because they were in love.
And there's a sonnet that called Elizabeth.
And we don't get to read
No,
it.
I just have to imagine that sonnet.
Ugh.
It did make me sad how he'd been keeping that notebook since he was a little boy. And right at the start, he's like, does my real daddy not want me?
Yeah, it's really sad.
Does
I
that
know,
mean
they were
my
trying to
daddy
make
doesn't
him-
love me? And I was like, oh, baby Luke.
Yeah, I felt bad
And then
for
he grew
him.
up and I was like, I don't care anymore.
I think
Okay, but
the fact that I'm going to say something fairly controversial.
Wow.
okay,
I think that Lord Robert Sr. is a jerk.
yeah,
He
is.
should at least talk to Luke. I could see how he was trying to ignore him, that he existed, but now he's at your house.
Yeah,
And you're going to just not
crazy.
even acknowledge, you're like, oh, I didn't know your mother told you about me.
yeah,
You're not going to try to have a conversation with him. You're
I
not
think
going to
that-
even say let's get tea.
yeah.
Also, why does no one acknowledge the irony that his last name is Shepherd?
Yeah.
Come on. I want to hear
I think
someone
that's-
acknowledge the irony.
Yeah, I don't know that it's ironic. I think Annabelle was looking for a poor man, and she's obsessed with werewolves.
Yeah.
I think she
Maybe
picked
that's
him.
it. Yeah,
think
she was
she's
like,
like,
I'm too much of a wolf.
Yeah.
oh, no.
Can I tell you something that Luke says to her?
Yes.
He whispers it in her ear.
Can you whisper it to us?
Yeah. Okay. It's not in his death throes. It's
okay.
before. Okay. So it's like in a romantic moment. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It was the werewolf, wasn't it? She felt him nod. He's strong and hungry,
No,
said Luke. Stay inside, Elizabeth. The moon is full. This is his night. The werewolf's night. And she's fine with it.
Well, she wants to be safe. She trusts that Luke knows more about werewolves than anyone else.
Oh, God. How
Did you know he's a
quickly she
poet?
believes him.
Can I read a
sense
thing
it
where,
up.
where Jessica disses him and it's so funny?
Please.
Okay, so Jessica was really funny in this book.
I
Jessica's
liked her
the
throughout
MVP of
all
this
three.
series.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I want her to marry Little Lord and go start a life.
I
and
know
never
that-
come back to Sweet Valley.
3 months ago, she roofied Elizabeth and put
she
her on
talks
trial
about
for
it.
murder.
She
The
talks about
fact
it.
that she doesn't mention anything else about
Okay.
it, she's like, I do feel bad because Robert is the first guy Jessica has been interested in since her boyfriend Sam died in an accident. And I was driving, but it was the other driver's fault. And I was
No,
like,
she-
there is so much
Yeah,
information
and she doesn't
missing.
say the other driver. She's like, it turns out it wasn't my fault, so I was exonerated. I was like, you know why it wasn't your fault? Because you were roofied by your sister.
Jessica.
there's so much to unfold there.
Yeah, I don't know how they ever forgave each other.
They,
Do you think they really didn't?
I think they didn't.
I think
Deep
they
down.
never forgive each other for
anything.
anything.
It's crazy
I think
that Jessica
every resentment gets held on to.
Jessica doesn't mention Sam at all.
Yes, she
Never.
does.
No, not in
Elizabeth
these books.
mentioned Sam.
No,
But not Jessica.
not
When
the
does she mention him?
She mentions him. She was like, "This is the first time I've loved anyone since Sam."
She doesn't say Sam.
Yeah, she does.
She's like, this is the most I've ever loved anyone.
Anyone,
I haven't felt like
period.
this. No, she doesn't.
She
The
doesn't
only person
mention
who
Sam.
mentions the events of Evil Twin is Elizabeth when she's like, it was weird. I was on trial, and then it turned out it wasn't me.
No, Jessica absolutely
She
mentions
says
Sam.
Sam.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
yeah, she does.
Wow.
I didn't think to highlight it, but she definitely says Sam. Can you search just for words?
Like
The word
search
Sam.
Sam.
Sam, please, Sam.
While you're looking for that,
Yes.
okay.
You got a quote.
So it's this is before they're fighting.
Yeah.
And Jessica and Elizabeth are like talking in the bedroom, and Jessica's just like, your conspiracy theory is crazy. All of your facts are not connected.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth is like, they are connected. The facts haven't changed. And then Elizabeth waves her hairbrush, and she's like, you and your pale boyfriend are wrong about the Pembrokes. And Jessica Claims wrong.
your pale boyfriend.
And Elizabeth hates Robert so quickly for no reason.
Instantly hates him.
She hates him for being rich.
She hates him also for being nice because she's like, that's fake. And I'm like, what? He's like, oh, I didn't know that there were. I mean, this is a little like gross of a thing to say to somebody, but he's like, oh, I didn't know that there were two women as beautiful as Jessica.
Okay, but people say that shit to Elizabeth
That's
and
all
Jessica
the time.
all the time.
Also, here's something we didn't mention. This man is 20.
Yeah, and Jessica's lying about her age.
Yeah, that's something that we did not
We didn't talk
discuss.
about. Okay, but you know what? He's got the emotional maturity, I think, of like
Oh, yeah.
a
What's to
younger
recover
man.
from? It's over and done with. Of course I feel awful about Joy, but there isn't anything we can do about it. She would want us to go on having a great time in England. And Liz, I am having one heck of a great time, which, what the fuck? I haven't been this
Someone
happy
just died.
since before Sam died. I didn't think I would ever love another boy the way I loved Sam.
She said it twice.
She
Yeah.
said it.
Dang.
It's like, but I do, Liz. I'm in love with Robert Pembroke.
It's crazy that they never mention like other murderers, like the evil twin.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Sam's death is probably a bigger deal to that. Like to us, like, oh my gosh, you almost got murdered by a serial killer.
Oh, you know what part I was like, oh damn, was when Elizabeth is starting to write a letter to Todd, and she writes, "Dear Luke," and I was like, oh shit,
Amazing.
oh,
Amazing.
shit.
She's a horrible
Again.
girlfriend.
Then Jessica watched sadly as Robert, the only guy she'd loved since Sam's untimely death, hurried away from her.
I wonder if they did that in edits. I'm telling you.
They definitely added that for the Kindle version.
I was reading for Sam mentions, and I was like, where the fuck is Sam?
They totally did.
The other thing that I highlighted is the thing we all hate. What was her name? Jessica asked excitedly. Anne. Why? Anne, not Annabelle. So much for some answers. All
That
right.
is the dumbest.
You're
Like,
so fucking
it's
stupid.
so dumb.
You stupid fucking idiot.
She's
Like,
so
it's one thing if
idiot.
she
So
didn't
stupid.
ask. Like, okay,
Yeah,
you
sure.
just didn't think to connect
man.
Luke's mother.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But Anne versus Annabelle? Has anyone ever called you Jess?
Come the
She'd be.
fuck
I think she would not
on.
respond to that. You'd be like, Jess,
Jess.
Jess,
Hey,
Jess.
Jessica, what? I've been calling you for forever. You've been saying Jessica for forever? No, I was saying Jess. That's not my name.
Who's that?
That's not my name.
that?
I don't know her.
Also, okay, Lucy is a bad boss, an irresponsible boss of children because she says, and even though I believe for very good reasons and not just on the basis of hearsay that Robert Pembroke Jr. is guilty as all get out, I sympathize with your situation. Take the morning off. Get to the bottom of this. Find Robert if you can. Go
Lucy's great.
hang out with the person I think killed all these people.
If it's going to get you a story.
Yeah.
Since when is Jessica like so admiring of Lucy? Just all of a sudden, Lucy is her fucking
Yeah.
hero, and she wants to be a newspaper woman as well.
I think she wants she wants away from Liz.
Yeah,
And she wants any positive validation that she can possibly get. She is so hungry for
she
it.
also
Yeah.
loves people who are mean and yell.
Yeah, she loves that. She's like, wow, she's a fire starter.
She's not afraid to hand shit out.
Portia is so boring now.
I know. She's like, I'm over it. Oh, this is another part where, okay, so this is like just the twins being very selfish. So this is right after Robert is like no longer homeless, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like talking about how his nanny got killed.
Yeah, it's sad.
And he's like, oh, if I had known, I wouldn't have left her alone. And Jessica squeezed his arm. You couldn't have known, and you couldn't have prevented her death. I just didn't realize she was in any danger, said Robert. I was too busy worrying about you. Me? Said Jessica. Please. It's like, dude,
A woman is
the woman is dead. Multiple people are dead.
I do like how Andrew Thatcher or Thackeray or whatever the chief of police is, like you said, he like lets him cover up Joy's death. But then the last straw is the servant Maria. That's the final straw.
Also, okay, here's something that's another thing that's like Elizabeth is a piece of shit
Yeah.
in this book. So when she finds out that Lena is Eliana, for a second she's like, my sense of duty is saying that I should report her. I
couldn't believe that.
Your duty to
sense of
whom?
duty.
To whom?
No, but it's also she mentions she wants to write an article about it.
Yeah, she does.
Also,
She's the worst.
She's so like, I'm like,
what
it's
is
not
Frank's first name?
Frank. Oh,
Something
Tommy
Frank,
Frank?
the guy who marries
oh.
Lucy.
Tony.
Tony Frank. Which
Also,
why give
Tony
him two
Frank
first
when
names?
they're why Lucy
And if she's
Friday and Tony
Yeah.
Frank, it's too much.
Yeah.
When they're about to do the press conference revealing Eliana, Tony Frank is like, "You're gonna get a Pulitzer for this."
I know.
It's like, okay,
No.
we're not in America, and no,
No, she's not.
probably not.
Pulitzer, a fucking Pulitzer.
No,
This
she's
isn't
not.
America.
She's not gonna
Well,
get
and
it.
you know how many high school interns have won Pulitzers?
I would say,
Zero.
yeah, probably zero. There were some parts where I got a little worried, and it was when the twins noticed how handsome Tony Frank is,
Yeah, it was upsetting.
and how handsome Portia's dad is. That he's like
No.
exuding sexual charisma. I was like, not sexual. They were like raw charisma. He's so handsome.
I mean, I think they're trying to set up with the dad
yeah,
so that it makes sense why Lady Pembroke,
Right.
who's such a cold fish.
I
But
think they just
Tony-
they know a good thing when they see it.
I thought
That's
Tony might be a love interest.
me too.
at
I
first.
was worried, and then there's a lot of adventures with Tony and Elizabeth alone, and I was
Yeah.
like, uh oh, what's gonna happen here?
She's racking them up.
Yeah.
Gonna put a bunch of man stamps on the side of her plane.
Ugh. I mean, what an
game
eventful
recognized
trip.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it, girl. You know what? When I'm in London, that's what I do.
All I do is notice hotties.
I noticed.
regardless of age.
Girls, we're going to London. We're gonna notice some hotties.
Oh, I've observed some hotties.
That guy's hot.
Consider
okay.
yourself noticed,
Some will be old, some will be werewolves. It doesn't matter.
because nothing escapes my eye.
If you're hot, I'm gonna look at you
If you're hot, I want to see it. I want to notice.
and I'll think it in my
Yeah,
head.
I want to see it. I'm gonna notice. I'm gonna take note. Remember.
If there's a book of my brain, it's gonna be in there. You're so hot, and I won't do anything about it. Yeah, Elizabeth notices a lot of hotties.
Mm-hmm.
It is her noticing all the hotties. Jessica barely notices any hotties.
Well,
true.
she legit falls in love.
Yeah, her and Robert are in love.
She does, however, leap at the chance to meet a football player who turns out to have acne and
No
no
neck.
neck.
Also,
That was such a trick. That was such
I
a
know.
mean trick of
That was
Elizabeth.
mean. Elizabeth is
Don't
mean.
you dangle a hot
No.
A hottie to notice?
British. Don't you? Like, she could have noticed a hottie. There was no hottie
There
to
was no
notice.
hottie to notice. What? Something fell out of a window? What
A
happened?
kitchen sink fell on a man's head, and he was
that's
fine.
right, 'cause he said, you guys have covered
fine.
everything but the kitchen sink up
I-
until now.
Goose
But he's
would.
gonna
Said that.
fix that today.
Kate William was at her little computer and went,
Yeah, she was like, I fucking did it. Dun, 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 dun. She like ate an Oreo that night to treat
Kate,
herself.
you aren't too much.
Honestly, the stories that they
To
get to
treat
cover,
They're interesting.
they're so interesting and cool. Like,
Yeah,
what is your complaint, interns?
because they want to do just like more serious stuff.
You would think after the first
Why
body
did Jessica even take an internship at a newspaper?
to go
Since
to
when?
London.
I thought you
Yeah.
were going to finish that to go. It's like, true.
Yeah.
Oh, I really wish that in Sweet Valley, the way they got out exposition was not to have everyone say information that everybody
Yeah.
knows already or remember to themselves information. Just have the narrator get it across.
Yeah.
We don't need them to think things they know.
Yeah, the narrator doesn't tell us a ton. He tells us, or she, it's omniscient, I don't
Yeah.
Miss William,
Ms. William tells us like what
if you're
the,
nasty.
the twins look like. That's pretty
Yeah.
much
They
all
could
the
be
information.
saying so much more.
Yeah.
Get out the exposition,
like-
and then the characters don't have to like sit there and remember things they know.
Also, the exposition is like me telling, like one of the characters telling another character, and then
them going, yeah, that's right.
I've been there. I was there for that. I already know that part. Tell me what happened next. I hated that.
There's
Well,
also a
ever
lot
since
of,
you revealed yourself to be the Princess Eliana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of like people alone in a room
Yeah.
telling themselves out loud what they are going to do and feel and think.
Yep. Yeah. I could have done without that.
Yeah, because you could just think those things.
You can just think
and
it.
maybe you say them to yourself, but not every character is going to be
No.
like, after today, I'm going to try twice as hard and be the best journalist there ever was.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
no.
You could just think it.
Just think it.
Just think it.
Also, if we're already in your head as the reader, you don't need to say stuff out loud.
Yeah, you can just be like, Jessica resolved to herself that she would be the best.
Yeah. Not.
Yeah.
It's not just like,
And then not like, wow, where's the key around this place? She said out loud to herself.
just like she looked for the key.
Yeah. Or Elizabeth wondered where the key was.
Yeah.
100.
Elizabeth thought, where's the key? Elizabeth wondered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Right.
have to be out loud.
No.
This isn't a movie.
The whole time
We
where
live in
she's
your head.
We're already there.
It was so panicky for me when Luke like is like, so first she's like, we have to go to the dead Annabelle's house, and he's dead, and he's like, oh, I think I've been here, and she's like, you have, and then she keeps driving, still not putting it together.
Forget me not.
And then he's like, I'm gonna go in the basement, and she's like, okay, and she goes upstairs and
Great.
she's like, oh my gosh, there's like all these like newspaper clippings about the Pembrokes, and she's saying all this out loud. She's like, who lived here? What is this? And she like finds a journal. She's like, a journal. I'm gonna read it. I'm reading the journal. A wolf.
His fangs are gleaming in the moonlight.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
his fake mask fangs.
Take off your mask.
Okay, so
I can't.
so the mask has red eyes.
I think.
I guess.
And what
It's
is
like-
red
so
eyes? Is
It's
red
like
eyes mean
she
your
did
iris
not
is red?
decide yet.
I think it's like glowing red, the iris.
So
Yeah.
wait a minute, glowing.
Here's
I
what
Are
don't
there
know.
lights?
Here's
Well,
what I
it's a
wonder.
werewolf.
Here's also what I wonder.
Who's to say?
Are there
their
eye
eyes
holes
look
in this
like?
mask?
These are my questions.
Bubbling around.
Because he is in a fugue state usually. when
What
this
they're
happens.
not talking about is how fucking stupid.
He's wearing.
She should start laughing.
No, she should start laughing.
He's wearing little werewolf rubber gloves.
Jessica would have laughed at him.
Yeah, Jessica would have
Rubber
laughed.
werewolf
Lila
mask.
would have torn him apart.
Until he doesn't need a silver bullet.
He doesn't need a
He just
silver
curls him in a fetal position.
Yeah.
crying.
Lila's so mean.
Yeah.
Lila would have started reading his journal back to him.
My tongue's about to be a silver bullet, motherfucker. What is up with this mask?
Always bring Lila.
But he's literally like tromping around
ABL.
in the subway with a fucking werewolf mask. Yeah, like panting.
What should have happened is when Jessica.
And everyone's like, oh my God, a werewolf. Whereas it's like, that man's unwell.
What should have happened when Jessica got attacked in the subway when she's like, oh my God, he was here. But now these people are just talking and somebody's like, I need the files to you by Friday, Jim. They should have been like, oh, did you see that guy at work?
That should have been
Anyway,
the talk
the
of-
files.
that should have been like, people should have been
Like-
like unable to stop talking about that.
Like, am I crazy or... I just see a man,
There's a man.
wearing a werewolf mask.
There's a
and
man on all
werewolf
fours.
gloves. He was wearing a chinchilla.
That was our one chance to see how throats get ripped out too.
We never
see because we still don't know what was his style.
Lord Pembroke never says what happened.
No.
Because that's the thing too. He like didn't get a good look, but it's like you should like kind of know like did they use their hands, their mouth?
I don't think you can use a human hand to rip out a throat unless you're like really
Yeah.
strong. I mean, I think you can't tear a throat open.
Right.
You
That's the thing. You can't really break the skin enough unless you have really sharp fingernails, maybe. But like, so he's walking
have to
around
kill
with
these
these
birds,
pointy
though.
fucking nails.
He had to carry around a literal wolf's paw.
So he has these two little wolf paws on sticks.
And they're the kind like remember those grabbers?
Yes, his little grabbers. So he's using.
He's clicking the little levers on the grabber.
It's little shark heads. Little shark head.
Close, open, close, open.
And he's just like row, 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 swinging these fucking claw
I
grabbers.
just was like, I could feel him breathing down my
So
neck.
the whole time he's doing that, he's like, on her. And she, I mean, it's like there's so many. Luke is not well, and like
He's seriously
unwell. He has no one to help him to tell him like you should talk to
he
somebody.
has a dad.
His dad doesn't
Dad
care.
is way checked out.
Dad doesn't care, right? I mean,
He's
Dad
a
obviously doesn't care.
pharmacist.
He's a pharmacist. Pharmacists don't care.
If I were a pharmacist, I think I don't know.
Through
I think
my experience, they don't. On blast.
On blast.
Pharmacists are rude. Have you ever
Pharmacists
been
can be rude.
CVS?
Yeah, they're very
it can
rude.
be, but sometimes there's like nice ones.
The nice ones really make your day.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it is they're not
Mostly
all
bad.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think the hiring, like
Yeah.
need outweighs. So like you get too much of the junky pharmacists.
Junkie pharmacist.
Yeah.
I thought you said chunky, and I was like,
Yeah, I don't
Rude.
want a pharmacist with thick ankles. But if I were that pharmacist,
Yeah.
even if I hated my son and
Yeah.
my ex-wife and stuff, why not blow up Pembroke's life?
Yeah.
Why
Seriously.
not get that money?
Get that money. Get some hush money.
he
Tell
didn't
us-
know.
Did he really not know? Then why
He
is he being
really
so
didn't
horrible
know.
to Luke?
Because
But
he
he
just
wasn't
doesn't
horrible. He was
unrelated.
just
He just
checked
doesn't
out.
care.
He was just
It's not
checked
okay
out.
to check out on your children.
I
Here's
think he
the
was just
thing.
distant.
Your
Luke is the
kid-
one who's mad at him. He's like, I can't believe my pharmacist dad didn't realize my mom had pneumonia.
Okay.
Also, did she have pneumonia?
I
Because
don't know. I
doctors
felt
were
like
apparently
she-
working round the clock.
I think she had something else. I think she just
had,
lost
like,
the will to live.
tuberculosis.
No, she saw what son
She had 80s pneumonia.
80s pneumonia.
She may have.
She
You know Pembroke's.
Fucking around.
yeah. Yeah, he
We already
is.
know that.
I
He
think
doesn't use condoms.
no.
And / Annabelle's proof.
Yeah, that's true. He likes to ride bareback. I think
It's true.
it's true.
That is what
There's
that's
like
called.
a whole extended
That's
scene
what
where
that's
he's
called.
like, throw this saddle out. It doesn't feel as good to ride on this horse.
She's like, what if I get pregnant? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
I have
we'll get it
lots of
taken
money.
care of.
No, he would never say that to Annabelle. He loved
her more than
He
anything.
was giving them lots of money.
lots. And it wasn't even
Not-
his money to give.
He stopped giving them money.
when
she
the
died.
wife was like,
Oh, yeah.
no more.
Yeah.
Luke was just like 8.
Yeah, he was really
I
little.
didn't realize when he was initially talking about
Yeah.
his mom that
I
she
thought it was-
died when he was only 8.
Yeah, at first it sounded like more recent.
Yeah,
I
I thought it was like 2 years before.
No,
And
he
then,
was little.
And then that's
So
why he
long
like
ago.
snapped.
So
But,
then
like,
his
you should
pharmacist
notice
dad,
if your son, if you're a pharmacist,
yeah,
you should
your
notice
pharmacist's
if your
eyes
son
are open.
has severe mental issues.
Severe. I mean,
True.
he
Like
is.
this-
He is wearing.
Like, do you think that
blacking
Luke has
out.
been to therapy?
No. I think he's like, I don't want to deal with my son because he is constantly covered in blood and wearing a wolf mask. So he just checks out. He's always at
Because
work.
like, okay, so like the
What did he
pharmacist's
do to the
dad,
sheep?
I know, that's the thing.
he didn't even eat them.
He didn't.
He just tore his
So he's not even like
a dog. He killed a dog and sheep.
Oh, that dog.
When that was
Poo-poo
so
was annoying.
unnecessary.
Poo-poo. Here's the thing. Poo-poo
That
was
is the
annoying.
only time I have read about a dog death, and I didn't.
Yeah,
give
I
a
seriously
shit.
didn't
didn't
give a
care.
shit.
We didn't even meet Poo Poo.
We only saw Poo-Poo's corpse.
I was more like, okay, so but when are we gonna? we didn't get to see him in
We
life.
didn't even see him in life. Yeah, he didn't even like drink the blood or like he just
No.
killed them.
I do wish that this was a live action story so that I could have heard him
Yes.
howl.
Oh,
Because when you read it,
so much
you
he's
don't
howling.
know he's a like you're not.
Yeah.
You kind of know it's a person, but like you can kind of pretend it's a werewolf.
Okay.
But it wasn't.
Let's try and sound as wolfish as we can. Okay, ready?
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, are we? And we're howling.
Yeah, and then we're gonna howl.
I don't even want to follow that shit. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Here's the thing,
I don't
we
want to
could
chicken
totally
out. I don't
pull
want
it
to
off.
chicken out.
You can do it. You can do it. You can join our group.
Okay. I was trying not to do like too classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have enough
honestly,
pain in. I think our lives. I think our lives are too good to really get to Luke.
Okay,
like,
let me
imagine-
get-
Remember,
okay.
But I
your
feel
mother
okay.
is named Anne.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
She died of pneumonia.
Or,
but
no. It's Annabelle, but you don't know that.
I
You
don't know.
that.
I don't know it's
you
Anne.
think,
Okay, okay.
You think it's a completely different
Okay,
name. You think
okay.
her name is Anne.
Okay.
your dad, the pharmacist, let her die of pneumonia. But it turns out it wasn't your dad, the pharmacist. Your dad is Lord Pembroke, and he let her die.
Oh, okay.
And
You have a
didn't
brother.
even get
You have a brother
nanny.
who got everything. You have a brother who got everything.
That's exactly what Luke's howl sounded like.
Heartbreaking hell.
So sad.
Wow.
Oh,
well, we hope
boy.
that you guys at home were doing some howling there to try and
Yeah,
figure out
play
if
along.
you could. If
It's the
you
home
could.
game.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys have a Google number, right?
Oh yeah, call us with your. Call
Please,
us.
by all, we will play.
Please.
Literally every single howl
Yeah,
message we
call
get
us.
on the next
Now I feel bad
episode.
that I opened
Get
this door.
I don't know who our guest is next week. I don't remember, but they are getting 10,000
Well, they're not only
voicemails.
they're only going to be able to talk with us for like 15 minutes, and then we're going to do and then it's Howlcast.
No.
Howlcast.
We have to manage our time properly. What we'll do is we'll play the howls
First.
and then we know how much time we have left.
Yeah, there we go. Excellent. Wow. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and doing this with us, Ryan.
Thank you guys. Anytime you want to
Always
talk
a
Sweet Valley,
pleasure.
that's all I do is think about it.
That's all I do.
It's all I do.
I do not leave the house. I think about Sweet Valley.
What a wonderful journey. And thank you for filling us in on what happened in
Yes.
between, too.
No,
Very important.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
You are our
A little less
expert.
crazy than this and Evil Twin, but
Yeah.
still shocking.
It's hard to reach those heights.
I mean,
It is hard.
The twist being that the boyfriend just thought he was a werewolf was one of the best twists. It
Okay,
was
when
so
he's
funny.
I didn't know he had split personality.
Oh, I know. He's like,
killed the
oh my God.
So sad and so funny. I was like, well, I guess at least he died happy.
He's like, we killed the werewolf. And she's like, yeah, okay.
Do you mind if I take your journal and read it?
Open to interpretation.
Do you have anything that you want to plug?
I have a podcast called Same Day Shipping, where friends of mine, including you, Kelly,
Yay.
we talk about fictional relationships, and we get really silly about it. It's really fun.
Yeah. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me. I'm at Mogge on Instagram and Twitter.
Woo! Thank you so much for coming on and doing this show. You are always one of our favorite guests.
Yes.
And you do an excellent job
Such a delight.
chatting these crazy stories with us.
Well, it's a highlight of my time on this earth. So thanks, guys.
Well, if you are reading along with the podcast, next week we are covering L.J. Smith's Daughters of Darkness.
Oh, fucking shit.
I know. I didn't remember either, and I was so happy when I opened our website just now.
Cannot
It's
wait.
Night World, book 2, baby.
Ash is so fucking hot. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, so if you're reading along, that's what we're reading. If you would like to start reading along and you didn't know where our schedule was, go to teencreepspod.com. We will be updating that soon because we are approaching the end of how much schedule we've posted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, we are at Teen Creeps Pod. If you would like to support the podcast with your money as well as your ears, please go to patreon.com/teencreeps. We really appreciate it, and thank you to all of our current subscribers. You help produce what you just heard.
Yay. Lots of wolf howling.
Yeah, so all of those howls, you help make that possible.
It's thanks to you.
Yeah.
So thanks so much, you guys. We'll chat with you next week and keep it creepy.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Kelly Nugent, Lindsay Katai, Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the